Or 65 yards on the ground, probably in a drive or two, especially the way this offense is going with Kyle Thomas. They're going to want to get that ball in the air if possible, but Thomas has shown that he's not afraid to pull that ball down and get some big chunks of yardage on the ground. He did it last week in the bad weather and the good weather. You have to think that you'll be able to get that footing. Although, speaking of footing, Jim, one thing I am peculiarly interested in is the last time we called a home game, if memory serves, you had 2 or 3 guys right between the 20 and the 30-yard line on this side lose their footing for the Brits. So you wonder, have there been any adjustments made to cleats? Will we see those types of hiccups again? Again, adjustments and adjustments.
Thomas comes in, Kyle Thomas comes in this afternoon with already over 1,100 yards of passing, 9 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. He's been sacked 10 times. And I think that's a major problem for this football team as well. Again, I think part of that goes back to the idea that you have a freshman that hangs on to it a little longer. But the other side of that is we probably, as a team, just need to protect him a little bit better.
Well, it's not only the protection, and like you mentioned with the decision making, oftentimes the mistakes he's making is when he's rolling out and he should just throw it away and he throws it up for the receiver to make a play. And sometimes he's telegraphing those passes that are going towards the sideline. He just has to know to airmail those and get those out of play. But the other part of that is offensive line. You talk about how the running game in some cases only gets you maybe 2, 2.5, 3 yards a carry instead of the 6 yards that the defense tends to give up. And that'll usually kill a drive. You'll be put in 3rd and long situations a lot, and it'll force Thomas to do something he's still not as comfortable with, and that is because he doesn't have the chemistry with the receivers, having not played full games for the most part. So the offensive line does its job, opens up the holes on the run, builds confidence for the quarterback. All of a sudden the receivers are more open because the defense has to respect that, and you get more one-on-one matchup opportunities to take your shots down the field.
Thomas has rushed the ball 47 times, 255 yards for rushing this year so far. He's got a long of 44, a couple touchdowns, but he has those 3 fumbles as well, Jim, and he's lost 2 of the 3. You really have to secure the football against this Alma defense this afternoon.
Yep, ball-hawking defense, and again, like you mentioned, because they're able to shut down the run, at least they were last week as well as they are, it's going to force Thomas to make more plays with his legs, and it's going to force him to roll out and hit the receivers. The receivers are going to have to win those one-on-one matchups and get open. If they can't get open and the Scots defense can shut down the run, that's going to mean a lot of 3-and-outs for the Brits. And you're going to have to put points on the board with as many drives as you can if you want to remain competitive, especially because of the woes in the second half, like we mentioned.
Is this the afternoon maybe that Pat Zarnecki steps up and has one of those Zarnecki-type afternoons? Patrick with 42 carries so far this year, 230 yards, 4 touchdowns, 5.5 yards every time he touches the football, and a long of 29 as you see the officials out in the middle of the field right now as we're about ready to have the coin toss. But is this an afternoon maybe where this Brits running game, and in particular Pat Zarnecki, could have an afternoon and finally start to establish his run game the way that the coaches would like to see it established?
Well, you'll know pretty well, I think, on that first drive, because unless he is going to be part of a rotation, he's not going to be in the original 1 deep. He's going to get his carries right away because you're going to have to test the strength of that defense. You can't just completely abandon the run because the other team statistically looks like they're good against the run. You're going to have to test it. And
there we go. We got a little bump there, but as Alma won the toss and they defer to the second half, and Albion will have the football to open. Jim, sorry about that.
Oh, that's all right. That's all right. Yeah, you're going to have to test the strength of that defense. You can't become one-dimensional just because statistically the Scots look good against the run. You're going to have to see, whether you can establish that part of the game. And establishing the run hopefully means keeping the drives going, dominating time of possession, and keeping their mobile quarterback on the sideline where he's harmless.
Well, we have talked about all the positives for Dylan Zaborowski here this afternoon. He has been sacked 8 times on the year. He has thrown 7 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, and has had a problem with hanging on to the football. Has 4 touchdowns and 4 fumbles that he's lost So not only is he a quarterback who is opportunistic and can move his football team up and down the field, he is also an opportunistic candidate for our defense to maybe get some turnovers that can turn this football game around today.
And Zaborowski, Jim, only 5'11", 220, strong guy, but relatively small in terms of quarterback size. Usually you like that 6'3", 6'4", 6'5" type of quarterback. Because of that, again, like we see with Kyle Thomas, you know, not as tall. So, you know, the passing lanes aren't going to be as pure because, you know, you got the big offensive lineman and defensive lineman in front of you. But also because he's, you know, 5'11", you know, he's going to take that pounding when he scrambles. And, you know, it's the same thing that Kyle Thomas has. He takes those hits. Sometimes he coughs up the ball.
As you can see, the Britons here this afternoon dressed in their purple jerseys with the gold trim, the gold helmets and the gold pants. And Alma over here in with their Scottish plaid as they come in with their white unis with the red plaid numbers and the helmets with the Alma decorations on them. So they're in red and white and black with a little plaid involved. And the Britons today in their home purple, and they will get the football to start things. Zarnecki will go back to return this kick, and Rayshawn Robinson with him here this afternoon. That's a bit of a change from the last couple of weeks, and you wonder, I guess, on my mind, and we'll see that pretty quickly. Marlon Martin, who the last time we saw him here, he tweaked a foot or an ankle or a leg and really left the ball game and didn't play the second half. Was not a factor last week at Olivet. Maybe this afternoon a little more healthy, and hopefully we'll have a healthy Marlon Martin this afternoon here for the Britons. So we're ready for the kickoff. It's great to have you with us here on the Britons Football Network this afternoon. We're hoping for a victory this afternoon. It would be the very first one in conference for the Brits as we get ready for the kickoff here on a Saturday, homecoming Saturday here at Albion. This one will go to Robinson. He'll run up and take it at the 15, right up the middle of the football field to 30. Had a little bit of a gap as he crossed the 35, then got bounced down at the 37-yard line. And it'll be Britons football, and you can see Rayshawn, if he could have gotten through that last little bounce, and it really wasn't a wrap tackle, it was just a good hit at the knee and could have kept his feet. There was nothing but daylight before him.
The reason there was no wrap on that tackle is that was the kicker, Plisco, number 15.
There you go.
And he got trucked at the end of that, but he did his job. He got in the way of the runner and got him down.
Thomas will start this thing in the pistol with Zarnecki to his left. They send the receiver in motion, and they throw that receiver up to Poor. He'll go around the left end, and a nice first down pickup as he'll get the first down into Alma territory, but there's a flag at the 45, and you've got to believe it's a potential hold against the Britons on that opening play.
Got to see which receiver they have, but I don't think there's any question based on where that is. You see the Britons offense walking backwards. They know one of the receivers flanked to that side, gets downfield, maybe gets those hands under the shoulder pads a little bit too much.
Holding, offense number 87. Penalty from the spot. First down.
We got him cranked up really hot today, but he's cranked on his end at this point in time, so we'll try to cut him down just a little bit. Sean Koski, the wide receiver here on this side. That's Blanzy in the slot here on the home side. Double receivers to the top, and again, it's Zarnecki to the right of Thomas in the pistol look here as we're just underway. The holding call makes it first down and 15 after what would have been a first down play on first down. Thomas, pocket collapses, and he'll roll out and get that penalty back, plus a couple as he steps out of bounds in front of the Alma bench out around the 42.
And for folks at home wondering why it wasn't first and 20 instead of first and 16, it's a spot foul, not necessarily the automatic 10 yards from the line of scrimmage. So it's one of those squirrely 6-yard holding penalties. But again, the Britons now come up with a second and manageable.
Second down now for the Brits, and they need to keep this drive alive. It'd be great to see him to put some points on the board immediately. And Zarnecki is close to a first down as he backs his way across the 50. They're going to say he landed on the Albion 49, so it'll be third down now and about a yard.
And a good run right up the gut, which is what the Britons' defense is susceptible to. Be nice to see an afternoon of the Britons running the ball up the gut with success.
Brits have triples to the top, single receiver to the bottom. Again, Zarnecki, the only running back to the left of Kyle Thomas. And they'll fake to Zarnecki, and they'll throw to Koski in the middle of the field. 30, 25, 20.
Touchdown.
10, touchdown, John Koski. So you've got to have that There's the maybe the hookup that we've been looking for. The junior out of Chesterfield, Michigan, Jimmy.
Watch the play action pass over the middle. The defender falls. You see it right there. Didn't catch the number of the free safety that fell. Number 21. I'll get a name on that young man.
21 is Luckhurst, Chris Luckhurst.
Yeah, Chris Luckhurst fell down right there, and as soon as Koski saw that, he steps out of that 1-foot tackle, and he's gone.
So the Britons go 51, and with the extra point, now go ahead 7-0, and that's the way to open up a homecoming Saturday afternoon here on the Britons Football Network. Why don't we head down to Big John Below on the sideline. Johnny, had to be a good way to open this thing up, bud.
Oh, yeah, it was nice to see some smart decision-making, you know, going for a nice run to get some yardage and then not forcing a pass, and then, lucky enough had a defender fall down, and, they're making the most of their opportunities right now, even with getting some penalties along the way. Hopefully they can refrain from doing that.
Hopefully we'll overcome that this afternoon, and John will keep us up to date as to what's going on around the conference. Another 1 o'clock game here this afternoon, and that one is the Hope and Trine game, and then you got Adrian Kalamazoo and Olivet at Benedictine here at 2 o'clock this afternoon. So the Britons take the football, drive it right down, and it's 7-0. That's a little more like Brit football right there, Jimmy.
Run set up the pass. That success with the rollout. Granted, there was a penalty on that one, but it showed that they could get outside the tackles and run. Zarnecki with a nice run up the middle. That's what we were hoping for on defense. We were hoping to keep the Scots defense honest so they couldn't just load, say, 8-9 in the box.
This one will head back to number 5. I believe that's Hinkle that gets it at the 5-yard line, brings it out across the 20 to about the 23-yard line. And the young man that fell down, Chris Luckhurst, was the other fellow back there in deep coverage at that point, Jim, but they kicked it away from him, so he didn't get the opportunity to maybe redeem himself as he got started here on the kickoff. On the offensive side of the ball, as we said, Dylan Zaborowski is the quarterback here today. We expect Caleb Reinhardt to be one of the running backs. Their number 1 receiver, Alex Yancey, out of Macomb, Michigan, has 28 catches on the year, and we have a penalty on that on the kick offsides against the Brits.
Going to re-kick. Jim, we have a second.
Offside. Team. 35.
Join the Albion College volleyball team after today's game. The Britons serve up a 5 o'clock home match against Alma at Kresge Gym. So it's all Albion, all Alma, all day today. There
you go. It's a good way to spend the weekend. There are a number of folks from Alma here today, and you can look across the way and the visiting bleachers today. By far the best crowd of anybody that's brought a group here this year, and really in the 3 years we've been here, that's about as good as it gets over on that other side. So They traveled well down the highway from Alma here this afternoon.
And they picked a good day.
It's a beautiful day for football.
Yep, really good day.
Again, back deep, Luckhurst and Hinkle. Luckhurst here on the home side, and Hinkle at about the 15 on the visitor sideline. And this one more of a line drive kick that will be fielded by the up back at the 25, out across the 40 to about the 43-yard line. That is Austin Spratling, and Spratling, one of their wide receivers, will set the Scots up with really good field position because of that offsides penalty.
Offsides penalty and wind. The wind picked up considerably on that second kick, forced him to do a line drive, and you saw a tight spiral, vertical spiral on that kick. Means that the wind is completely knocking that ball backwards right there. So it's a wonder that ball went as far as it did.
Zaborowski, the quarterback, he'll be in the pistol. That is Reinhardt to his left. Now they move Cozart back to the wing spot on the right side and shift him back over to the left, and they'll go doubles top and bottom. Zaborowski going to call his own number, follow Cozart right up the middle for a short gain, across the 45 to about the 46 yards. Line 46-yard line, so give him about 3, maybe 4 on that opening carry.
And again, I think this is going to be a case where your quarterback's probably going to call his own number quite a few times, and you're just going to wait for the defense to see if it starts bringing the linebackers and maybe a corner up for run support, and that's when you're going to try to hit them over the top.
Cozart again, the running back to the right in the flank. Zaborowski is going to pull it down, and he'll go forward across the midfield stripe and into Britain's territory at the 49.5, 48.5.
And again, you mentioned, Jim, the fumbles that Zaborowski has. You see his running style right there. He's not afraid to put his head and the ball forward at the end of a run instead of taking a slide. He doesn't mind the contact, but because, again, he's only 5'11", that ball can sometimes get jarred out.
Lars Murray checks in, and he'll come in motion this way and then set up. They'll turn and hand the football off to 89. That's Thomas Cannon. And Cannon will get the first down at the 45-yard line.
Well-designed sweep right there to the right. And he had the first down before there was any contact. So well-designed play to move the chains. And just like that, because of that penalty, the Scots are in enemy territory.
Could be a shootout here this afternoon in Albion, as both offenses here moving pretty well in their opening drives. Zaborowski now with that stacked look in the backfield. And he'll turn and he'll hand it to number 6. That's Reinhardt, and Reinhardt goes right side for a couple. He'll be close to the 41-yard line, give him about 4. So right away, this run game for the Scots has been pretty effective, Jim.
Yep, but thankfully for the Brits so far, one of the encouraging things is previous weeks you've seen 6 yards usually in those carries. 4 yards, still 4 yards, but it's improvement. Now you need to hold them to 1 or 2 yards here or an incomplete pass to make it 3rd and long.
Doubles top and bottom. Zaborowski fakes the run, then throws, gets hit as he delivers it, and it's just off target and incomplete. As that was 23 Alex Yancey, the intended receiver, and you can see Zaborowski gets thumped just as he let go of that football on the replay.
Sean Kubit-Miller, number 94. Every D lineman's dream right there, basically a clean shot at the quarterback.
Wickens, Reynolds, Kubit-Miller, and Lynn, the starting front 4 for the Brits this afternoon. Fullerton, Rodriguez are the linebackers. And then it's Robinson, Edwards, Harvey, Carter, and Anarod in that secondary. Zaborowski calls his own number. He gets lost in the traffic, and he gets ahead for the first down.
Shouldn't have had that first down, Jim. They had him at about the 37-yard line right there, but he's able to squirt those extra 2 yards out and move the chains. That's one where the Brits should have held.
Brits again coming to this afternoon with an attempt to get their very first conference win, which is kind of unusual to be this deep into the season for the Britons and not have your first W in the MIAA. But maybe this would be a good afternoon to start it here in front of a big homecoming crowd. Pretty fall afternoon right now. Zaborowski got things started, then he pulled it off and looked back over to his sideline. Kozart goes in motion, then plops down at the tight end spot, and Zaborowski's going to sweep right in. Round the corner, he's still on his feet inside the 30 and inside the 25 before he finally goes out of bounds.
This is a lull-you-to-sleep offense, Jim. It don't look like so far there's a whole lot of speed, but what there is there's really good blocking, really good play design, and they're not forcing it too fast, even though they're running relatively a no-huddle offense. It's just they're doing enough. And those are the kind of offenses that can just drive you crazy as a fan and a coach.
Zaborowski had an empty look, and then all of a sudden he brings his flanker, Thomas Cannon, back into the backfield to his left. And they will fake the ball to Cannon and throw the ball up the sideline to Kozart, and he couldn't pull it in. Boy, was he wide open. Nick Kozart, 6'3", 258-pound senior, as you watch this replay here. And that ball thrown pretty much exactly where it needed to be. Look at that, Jimmy, right on the numbers. Worst place to throw a ball, right on your hands, right? Isn't that the way it works?
Tight end, really, Jim, I would have believed without looking at the roster that he'd be a fullback.
Yeah.
Because he's built more like a fullback than a tight end, maybe a hybrid kind of player. I don't know how many targets he's had. I'd have to go look at the stats, but probably one fewer target maybe down the road.
Had his opportunity right there and let that one go by the board. Second down now and 10 for the Alma Scots. 10:50 to play here, opening quarter. Cannon will sweep right in, and the Brits right there to slow him down after just a short pickup, about a yard.
Got an injured player. Nope, just slow getting up.
3rd down and 8 now for the Scots.
Now you look at if the Britons are able to hold and make this a 4th and long, given the wind, do you try to kick? Do you go for it? We've seen a lot of teams against the Brits this season go for it in these types of positions.
3rd down and 8. Brits defense needs to get real stingy right here because this would make for a tough field goal attempt. Zaborowski drops, runs out of time, and has to throw it away. It's intercepted.
What a terrible pass, Jim.
15-yard line. That's Drew Schaefer with the pickoff for the Brits, and you're right, just a horrible decision there by Dylan to throw that ball away. Now he is talking to the official right now for whatever reason.
Maybe he thought late hit.
I don't know. You can see that it just
got
basically
a shove at the end, but I don't know what you threw a bad pass, dude. Just shake it off.
So Schaefer pulls in the interception and returns it to the 17-yard line, and the Britons have the football back after Alma had done a nice job driving the ball all the way down into the red zone.
And the defense right there, you throw that ball up, it's such an easy interception, but you have to make that interception so you don't have a fourth down decision. So good job by the Brits to pick that one off and give them the ball back.
Thomas in the pistol. He fakes the handoff and throws it out here on the wing. It's caught. Coming up the field is Colin Poore, and Poore will have a first down out close to the 30-yard line.
So the screen pass so far has been the Britons' best friend. And if you want to build confidence in your quarterback, your young quarterback, screen passes are the safest passes, and they're the way to go. Plus, it opens up the defense.
Doug Freeman, the running back, this time to the right of Thomas in the backfield. Triples to the top, single to the bottom. They'll throw again right across the middle. This one's tipped in the middle of the football field. And I'll tell you what, it looked like 94 Derek Ellis, the guy that got his hands on it as you watch this rush.
Is that a 94? Yep, 94, okay.
Knock that one down, and it will be second down now and 10. Nice rush by the middle of that line. In fact, Cameron Lee, number 90, now in at the nose position as Freeman gets a run off right guard. And boy, it looked like he had a hole open, and the next thing you know, it's slowed down and stopped by Colton Tyson, who came up and
35.
Put a big hit.
Yep, 35 also with the cleanup on that one.
Nice job by the Scots defense to stop what looked like was going to be a 6 or 7 yard run when the handoff was made. Freeman again to the left of Thomas, triples to the top. He'll drop. He has time now. He runs out of time, and he's going down. And guess who? Number 40, I believe, is the guy they're going to pull off the bottom of the pile. That's him. Dustin Tripp just picked up number 8.5 here for his season, and that will end what looked like maybe the opportunity for the Brits to get up a couple touchdowns early.
And Tripp right there, Jim. Just the ability of a defensive lineman sometimes to eat that block and just to push the pile back. He was in the quarterback pretty much before Thomas had an opportunity to choose a spot to run.
Rush coming, didn't get there. Kick will send Hinkle back deep to the 30.
Good open field tackle right there, Jim.
Thought he was going to get around Fullerton there, and Fullerton said, nope, watch this on the replay. Joe says, no, not going for that one.
Shirt this time. Want to remind folks to send us a line. Let us know where you're watching, who you're rooting for. Hint, hint, you should be rooting for the Britons today. Send us an email to webcast@albion.edu. That's webcast@albion.edu. And if you say something nice, I just might read your note on the air.
And if you're watching right now and maybe had some problems getting on today, the initial link to this webcast was not good today. So if you know some folks that are out there that have been frustrated trying to get on today, have them check again, because we have an alternate link up at this point in time, and everything seems to be running well. Reinhardt will try right side for good yardage on first down.
These pinball hits, though, at the end of these runs, Jim. There's another one where he almost got helicoptered at the end.
6 yards on that opening run by Reinhardt. Makes it, give him 5, 2nd and 5.
Just shy of the 41-yard line as we have 8:10 and counting, quarter number one. Britons up 7-0.
Zaborowski again in that pistol. He'll send a man in motion. That's Murray. And he'll throw it up to the top of the screen to Yancey. And Yancey, I believe, will be close to the first down, but a little bit short. Well, nope, they're going to mark it right down on that front stick, and it will be a first down. They don't ever have to measure, but on that one you don't really have to measure because you're sitting right in front of that yard marker.
Yep, and that official is inches from the stick, so I trust him.
First down and 10 now for the Scots.
But you're right, they never measure.
We don't have to around here. We got good eyes. Zaborowski with time throws this one away, I believe. Lars Murray was the intended receiver. Decent coverage back here by Trey Edwards. And I think Zaborowski's play clock in his head was going tick, tick, tick. I better throw this ball.
And on the interception, he was wrong-footed right there, throwing kind of off his back foot, backpedaling that time. Even though he threw an errant pass to his left, he planted and was driving forward. So you know, again, he's making progress as well from the previous drive.
Kozart goes into his wing position here from the left to the right. Zaborowski goes right up the middle of the football field, and he'll be crossed midfield by the time the Britons knock him down at the 48-yard line of the Brits.
Third and manageable, about 5 right here as we go on just under 7:30 to play, coming up on 7:20 to play first quarter.
Britain's defense needs to get another stop here. They already have one on the takeaway on the interception. Could use one right here. Reinhardt again, the running back to the left. Kozart, the fullback / tight end, moves over to the left. They hand it to Reinhardt. He goes straight up the middle, and with second effort, he will be close to the 45-yard line, but he'll be a good yard, maybe a yard and a half short, and that will bring you to a really good decision right now,
yeah,
huh?
And they're going to go for it. I wondered as much when you get on this side, the friendly side of the 50.
Fourth down at about 2.
You have the wind at your back right here. I'm surprised you don't play the field position.
Zaborowski's got a quick kick.
Smart.
There you go.
Bad
and it's
kick,
not
though.
much of a kick as it gets picked up at the 27-yard line and, well, the 24-yard line. And it'll be Brits' ball as they are going to mark it actually at the 25. So interesting call there as Zaborowski did look like he was lined up about a yard or 2 deeper than what he had been. And that was because he was going to kick the ball away. So the Brits have the football again, and 2 drives now go for naught here for the Scots, and the Britons need to take advantage of it.
Jim, the excitement of homecoming festivities continues tonight as the Albion College Concert Choir, Britain Singers, Symphony Orchestra, and Jazz Ensemble come together in performance at 8 o'clock at Goodrich Chapel. It's free, and everyone's invited.
Zaborowski now 1 of 5 for 5 total yards and an interception as the Britons offense get back on the field. And Zarnecki finds room up the middle. Tried to get loose, but I'll tell you what, he was wrapped up and hauled down by 21, I believe.
31.
31.
Get you a name on that momentarily. My 2,000 pieces of paper. That's Aliz Shotko.
With a nice
SZAJKO.
Nice job of tackling Zarnecki, but Zarnecki with 4 on the first down carry, and on second down he'll add a couple more.
Good job of plugging the middle right there by the linebackers for the Scots.
Colton Tyson, the young fellow 51 that was in on that stop. So it's third down now and a short 4 for the Britons as they'll spread the field out with doubles top, doubles bottom. Zarnecki again with Thomas in the backfield. Fake to Zarnecki and throw the ball to Koski. Koski has it, put a knee down, but fortunately for the Brits, he was about 2 yards farther down the field than he needed to be, as you see on this replay.
And part of that was confusion on the end of the Scots secondary right there. You saw a safety flying over at the last second, and he got there late.
Poor goes in motion. They'll fake the ball to Zarnecki in the middle. They're trying to hit the tight end Blanzy coming across the middle, but then that little drag route, Blanzy kind of got slowed down a little bit. The ball in front of him, it'll be incomplete. It'll be second down and 10.
And checking with Shotko, number 31, same player we mentioned a moment ago, had him in a good one-on-one matchup, but the linebacker held his own and cut off the route.
So the Britons with second down and 10. And they'll throw to Koski again, same route that he caught the first time. He'll pull this one in, and it'll be very close to a first down, ripped out of bounds by Chris Luckhurst. But I believe that's enough for the first down, and the Brits, when they mark it.
They originally marked him, Jim, at the 46, and then they changed to the 47 in the.
Wow, they're going to say third down and an inch. No, they moved it. They're moving the sticks. He was a good foot, 2 feet beyond where he needed to go, just moving the.
The FAR official was given the sign. The sticks just weren't moving along with him.
Poor goes in motion to the top. Zarnecki with the late handoff right up the middle. Room, cuts, 40, on his feet at the 38, close to the 37, and Pat is having a pretty good afternoon. I guess so far he's answering my question. We do have a lineman down here for the Britons, and that's not a good sign.
Grabbing his left knee right there. Obviously make no assumptions. Certainly hope it's nothing, but when a big offensive lineman like that goes down, Jim, you hold your breath.
Number 70 checked in for him, Jim. You want to catch a couple of numbers here for me? The replacement is 70.
70 is Seth Williams. He's a senior out of Edwardsburg.
And I didn't catch the number of the young fella down on the ground at this point in time, but we'll get that here in just a minute. Halftime here today will be the homecoming festivities, and we're going to give you full coverage of that here this afternoon.
Did you win?
They'll, I don't know. That's what I'm hopeful. I figured I can't win and go down and take my crown if indeed I'm up here doing a halftime show. So I think we'll turn that all over to those guys down on the field, and if they call my name, I'll be happy to go down and do whatever I need to do. How's that?
If you mess up, Kenny will crown you at halftime. But I might have to do the second half solo.
Hopefully nothing serious as we're looking at, looks like the left knee. And now with a little bit of help.
Let me see how much weight he's able to put on that left leg. That's
not much.
66, and that's Travis Myrick. Also out of Edwardsburg, so two Edwardsburg products, one subbing for the other, and not putting a lot of weight on that left leg. But you and I learned a long time ago not to read too much into that, because these young men have amazing bounce back ability.
So we get him to the sideline with help and get everything reorganized, and when we get back into play, the Brits will have the football on the Scots 37-yard line. Scots have not won here at Albion since 2007.
Well, let's keep that going.
So let's just see if we can't keep that tradition alive here on this beautiful Saturday afternoon. Again, the late handoff to Zarnecki, but Pat will get a couple across the 35 to about the 34-yard line. It'll be second down now.
It's the old jab and jab and jab and jab some more right here. You're using those short runs. Eventually you're going to throw play action at them, and you're going to hit a big play.
Second down and 7 now. Thomas drops. He has time. Doesn't have anybody open. Now he's running out of time, and he's going to be dropped back around the 47-yard line.
Just can't have that happen, Jim.
Those are the ones you have to throw away. And again, no Marlon Martin here this afternoon that I've seen so far. So I'm not sure we'll have to check the sideline and see if he's down there on the side and maybe what's going on. But Martin not in the lineup or in the on the football field here early. So the Britons now with a third down and long after the sack. Second sack of the afternoon. Thomas gets rid of this one. It's caught, but where it's coming back, I'm afraid, because I think we have a holding call in the backfield. That would have been plenty for the first down around the 23-yard line.
And as soon as you see the Britons start walking backwards, you know that your assertion is correct. Unless we get lucky and there's an illegal hands to the face penalty, but I don't think there is. I think this is going to be a hold on the offensive line.
So the ball comes back. The completion to Tyler Sykes is wiped off the board, and unfortunately,
holding. Offense number 7, 10-yard penalty from the previous.
Yep, we're going to turn him down a little bit because they're having some troubles here today with their microphones and their volumes, and when they get a little bit better, we'll ratchet him back up, but it's going to be third down now and forever.
Well, I want to be able to hear on the ride home too, Jim.
Yeah, exactly, man. I agree. So Tyler Sykes saw his first target of the afternoon. Get wiped out.
Run a draw play here.
Well, it's third down and 25. We used to say
25 plays do you have?
We used to say we had a bunch of those in our arsenal when Don Bona and the guys were here. This one will be incomplete, and I'll tell you, you had a Sean Koski kind of got locked up with a defensive back. No harm, no fouls. What they're going to say is that pass was underthrown just a little bit, and they wiped that off.
Hoping for a pass interference penalty right there on that. No dice.
So the Brits will punt this thing away. They've had it 3 times now, scored in that opening drive, and then since then have seen their drive sputter, mostly because of penalties. Nice high kick. That'll send number 5 Hinkle back inside his 10-yard line, and he'll get out across the 14 and get submarined right there. So 15-yard line is where the Scots will go to work here with 3:13 to play in the opening quarter.
Curious decision on that punt return right there. I applaud his moxie, but I question the judgment to run right head on into the 2 special teams guys that are coming down waiting to tackle you. He didn't even try to make a spin move or a sidestep or anything. He just took it and ran right at him.
Zaborowski has 5 rushing attempts this afternoon for 30 yards. Caleb Reinhardt with 3 totes for 12 so far, and Thomas Cannon with 2 for 6 as they get everything started here. First down and 10 on their own 15-yard line.
A lot of crowd today.
Nice crowd. A lot of folks here. A lot of people down with the president here this afternoon as they'll turn and hand the ball off to Reinhardt, and he finds the room to his liking off that left side as he crosses the 20 to about the 23-yard line.
And that's the benefit right there of a delayed run. He ran right past 2 or 3 defensive linemen, Jim, and it's almost like they didn't even see him because they were engaged in their block, just kind of quietly snuck behind him.
So second down and about 2 here for Zaborowski as he will turn again and hand to Reinhardt, and he'll run around the right end. This time the Brits are there to capture him just past the line of scrimmage, so it'll be third down and short.
Nope, they're marking first down.
Oh my gosh. Boy, that didn't look like he'd gotten that much forward progress, Jim.
I'm looking at the near official right there, and they're quick to give the signal. They don't measure, and they know right away when it's a first down.
Kyle Thomas on the afternoon so far, 5 for 8 for 80 yards and a touchdown, though most of that came in that very first drive, as they'll stay with Reinhardt again, and right up the middle of that football field, they're finding great success as Reinhardt goes for about 7 again.
Yep, and this is where the weakness of the Britons defense has been. One of the weaknesses is that run right up the middle. They held tough on that first possession, and ever since then, the crack in the armor has been growing larger and larger.
71 beautiful degrees at Sprankle-Sprandel here this afternoon, and the Brits up 7-0 here in the first quarter. Zaborowski calls his own number. He's still on his feet at the 40, pushing towards midfield, and he's across the midfield stripe, and I think they're going to mark him now into Brits territory at the 49-yard line.
Good strong run, good finish by Zaborowski there for that first down. You see him take off to his right, only has one hand on the ball. You see the hit from the back right there. Did not fumble in that case, but that's one where you always tell your running back you got those 4 points of protection on that football, and he's just kind of casually carrying it out to the side. That's why he's susceptible to the fumble.
They had triples to the top of the field. Now they move them all around to the home side of the arena. And they'll fake the ball to Cannon, and Zaborowski looking to go deep right across the middle of the field, and he's got a man wide open inside the 20 at about the 18-yard line. Robinson on the coverage, Yancey on the catch, and I'll tell you what, Alex Yancey somehow got a step or two on Rayshawn Robinson. As you can watch the replay here, you can see.
Watch how much air under that ball. Usually expect your defender to close a little faster on that one, but it shows how many steps he had him beat by.
First down now and 10. Ball in the red zone for the second time this afternoon as Reinhardt turns and goes around that right end one more time. Boy, the success in this running game so far has been impressive. Zaborowski with 48 yards right now. Reinhardt now with a 6 on that one. Give him 36 here for the afternoon already.
And that hole up the middle, Jim. Once you break that hole up the middle, then all of a sudden your edge blockers start opening up holes and cutting them to the outside.
Reinhardt will run it again, and this time he won't quit quite as many, but he'll still get a couple.
It'll be short, though, by about a yard, bring up 3rd and 1 as we tickle under 40 seconds to play, come near 35 seconds, quarter number 1. Still 7-0 Britons, but the Scots on the move.
Hunter Shaw with the tackle there for the Brits that time. 3rd down and 1. Could be the last play here of the first quarter. 19 seconds on the play clock, so they're going to have to run one because it's about 2 seconds more on the game clock than the play clock right now. 3rd down and short. Zaborowski looks to the sideline.
Going to need a nice push by the defensive front here for the Brits.
All the way down to 3 seconds on that clock. And Zaborowski again calls his own number. They'll be the first down as he crosses the 10 and gets close to the 7.
That was too easy, Jim. On a 3rd and short, you figure you're selling out for the run right there, and they're still pushing you back to get 5 or 6 on a 3rd and short.
Alex Yancey this afternoon for the Scots has 2 catches for 35 yards, a long of 30. And with that, the first quarter will come to an end. So we played a quarter here at Albion, and the Britons on top 7-0 as we'll head down to the sideline and talk to our buddy John and see if there's another scorer out there for us to look at. John, what's the rest of the conference doing right now?
Well, the big game right now going on at the same time is Trine against Hope. and trying. That really good trying team is up 20-0 over Hope at the end of the first quarter. They're looking to continue to roll.
Wow, there's one that is a little bit of a shocker for me. Trying up on Hope 20-0. Hope on top of the conference right now at 3-0, trying to 2-0.
Trying for real though.
Hope, yeah, I would go along with that idea.
Trying for real.
Hope at 5-1 of the season, trying undefeated here at this point in time. So they're trying to continue that.
Yeah, just that half game. Want to say hi to Dick Ritter, class of '66, watching while taking a break grouse hunting in Grayling, Michigan. Says, let's win one, Brits. Also want to say hi to Elon Williams, the coach from Redford, rooting for number 94, Sean Kubit-Miller. Loving the pressure you're getting. Let's go, Brits.
So the Brits need to bring some pressure right now as we open up quarter number 2 with their backs to the goal line here. It'll be first down and goal now for the Alma Scots after that last run. And the Britons defense now need to be opportunistic if they possibly can. Yancey here wide to the home side. And quarterback Zaborowski going to keep this one and run into a bunch of congestion right there at the line of scrimmage. He'll get about a yard, but the Brits doing a nice job that time not allowing that hole to be open in the center of that football field.
You have that shorter field with which to work. The defense knows it can kind of use that goal line as its fence, so to speak, and to put a little bit more pressure on the interior. Here's where the offensive line going to have to make its mark on this drive.
Give it to Kubit-Miller and to Austin Lynn there for that stop. Make it second down now and goal from just inside the 5. Zaborowski steps away and looks to the sideline.
Never been a fan of, since the offensive lineman doesn't put his hand in the dirt, he can stand up and turn around to the coach, but I've never been a fan of that.
Murray's to the top. Zaborowski rolls that direction. He's going to try for the pylon, and I believe he got there. Yep. Zaborowski goes in from 4.
He dove first.
And it's a 7-6 football game with the extra point coming.
See the decision. Was he going to have to take a hit, or was he going to take a dive for the pylon? And the defender was slow to commit, so he dove first. And because he dove first, he got that ball onto the pylon across the goal line for 6.
So far this afternoon, that's the 9th first down for Albion, or for Alma, that last try. 9 first downs, 2 of them on the ground, 7 through the air as the extra point's about to be tried. Low snap, hold was good, and the kick was wide to the right. So that one doesn't happen very often. Jacob Plisco pushed that one to the right. Again, a low snap and a decent hold, but the ball just pushed a little bit to the right.
Well, kickers, though, again, they get into such a rhythm. There's the whole process that they go through. If anything messes up that process, then it ends up going kaflooey, as I say to my younger kids.
Talk to me, Jimmy.
To tell folks about the Student Farm. Cider, donuts, candle dipping, pumpkin painting, and more are part of the Albion College Student Farm Fall Fest, scheduled 1 to 4 p.m. next Sunday, October 29, at the Albion College Student Farm. It's located at 810 Newburgh Road. It's free and open to the public. If you want more info, contact David Green, 517-629-0582 for more info.
So the mixed extra point makes the Britons the leaders here in this one, 7-6, just underway in quarter number 2. As Rayshawn Robinson will be to the top of your screen, and Pat Zarnecki on the home side here right around the 10-yard line.
Going to need some paperweights.
Yeah,
starting. Should have brought some starting today with the wind coming in.
Alma with 25 total offensive plays compared to 17 for the Brits, and they'll kick this one short. Robinson will pick it up on the bounce at the 20, looking for a hole, and he runs right into a Scott and a big hit. That was 44. That's Brandon Harper, the senior, 6'3", 220. Just to give you an idea, Rayshawn Robinson is a 5'10", 180-pound junior, and he just ran into a truck, basically, as he made that move up that football field. So it'll be first down, 10 Brits.
Ran upright into him, too.
Yeah, upright,
so you
exactly.
basically ran shoulder to shoulder with a guy who was able to drive and just drive you the 6 feet down to the ground. So good finish.
Freeman again, the running back to the right of Thomas, as we'll start going right to left this time, and they will hand the football to Freeman, who will get about a yard on first down. Again, not a lot of push on the front of that offensive line here this afternoon for the Britons. Freeman gets about a yard. Well, in fact, that's not Freeman down there. That's Mitchell, Elverson Mitchell, 36 instead. So Mitchell gets a yard. Thomas drops, steps up in the pocket and unloads. Blanzy's got it. Nice catch out around the 45-yard line.
Good coverage, but a good catch.
Give Brian Blanzy, as you watch this grab, ball thrown just a little behind him, but you know what? These are the ones that you got to make the catch on, and Blanzy goes up in the air, pulls it in. First down, sticks move, Brits football.
24 catch mar in coverage right there. You can't do much better in coverage either.
Fake to Mitchell, throw again out in the flats. This one's caught. That's poor. Up across the 40 into the 35 and out of bounds. In fact, that's Sykes, 81, not 21.
Smallish secondary for the Scots right there, Jim. You saw they were able to shake off a tackle. Big stiff arm on Brandon Moore, 32. Pretty much just dusted him right there. Got the first down.
Sykes and Poor, the receivers to the top. Poor in the slot. And before anything gets started, we have a procedure call against the Britons. That'll cost them 5 yards.
Jordan Jones, number 74, on the flinch right there.
False start. Offense number 74. 5-yard penalty. First down.
So it'll be first down and 15 now for the Britons. 13:02 to play here in quarter number 2.
Over modulation.
And the Britons are going to have to work their way through this penalty. Poor comes in motion. Mitchell with the football on the draw play. He'll get most of that penalty back as he's down to about the 37-yard line, almost the 36. Give him 4, set up a 2nd and 11.
The unfortunate reality of that play, though, is while it's a nice 4-yard run, because of the penalty, it's still 2nd and 11.
Zarnecki checks back into the ball game. We'll have triples here on this side. That's Blanzy in the slot. Thomas sets, throws, Blanzy across the middle. This one a little bit behind Brian. He couldn't pull this one in. That would have been close to a first down if that one would have been a little more on the money as you see the replay.
Well, on the money, yeah, you got to lead him right there, Jim. When your receiver has to reach backward for the ball, bad things can happen. And fortunately, in that case, it wasn't deflected up in the air, or it could have possibly been intercepted. To lead him, he's definitely getting the first down, and he's probably taking it all the way.
And again, that's the direction the wind's blowing. It's blowing from the visitor sideline to the home sideline today. Whether that affected it or not, I'm not sure. Zarnecki tries to work after the initial hit, and he'll get a couple on that draw play. So trying to fool him just a little bit with a running play will set up a 4th down now and 8, and I believe the offense will stay on the football field.
Yep. Again, too far to kick, too close to punt from the 35, although this would be good field position for the Scots if they don't get it, though.
4th down and 8. Will the Scots bring some pressure? Yes, they do, but it's picked up. Now Thomas has time, throws it across the middle, and Poor almost pulls it in.
Almost had a one-handed catch right there. He led him right there. Led him a little bit too far.
I think if you're watching this one, too, Poor had some heat coming in his face as you see the safety coming his way. And maybe the combination caused him to not be able to pull that one in. Instead, now first down and 10 for the Scots, who took the possession last time, marched down the football field for their first score of the afternoon before they missed the extra point.
Support Albion's Student Athlete Advisory Committee's community service work with the purchase of a 50-50 raffle ticket. The winning number will be announced in the second half. Good luck, Jim.
Just tuned it in. Basically, the Britons took the football right away. A 51-yard touchdown toss from Thomas to Sean Koski with the extra point made it 7-0 as Reinhardt brings it up the field for about 8. And then Alma responded here on the very first, in fact, the second play in the second quarter with a 4-yard Zaborowski run for a touchdown. The extra point was missed, and that's how we stand right here at 7-6.
And you had run support there coming from the secondary, came from the right side, and the runner basically just waited for that blitzer to get just past him, and then he took off.
Zaborowski fakes. He drops in the pocket. Here comes the heat. He's throwing this one deep, all the way up across the middle of the field. And I'm telling you, 85 is sitting here. Chase Kruger got bumped a little bit with Rayshawn Robinson, but I think that was just part of the play, just the way that it works. When you're one-on-one, every now and then you'll bump, you'll get your feet caught up just a little bit. He felt like he'd been interfered with. The official who was right there said, nope, just the way that it goes, let it go. Incomplete, 3rd down.
if you're not completely taking his path and you're both trying to make a play on the ball. And as long as it's not egregious, usually you don't get penalized for it.
Reinhardt, the running back to the left. Zaborowski calls his own number on this third down play, and he'll have the first down as he's across the 45. And again, when they need that couple of yards, they go right up the middle, Jim.
Yep. That's been the weakness of the Britons defense all season, running it up the middle.
So first down and 10. That's first down number 10 now in the afternoon for the Alma Scots.
And that's sustaining a drive, which is why they're once again on the move. Britons not doing as good a job picking up those first downs.
First down and 10. Ball at the 46-yard line of the Scots. They'll turn and hand it to Reinhardt. He'll sweep left end. Gets the corner, then gets pushed out of bounds right around the midfield stripe.
They'll give him about 4 on that one. Bring up a 2nd and 6 as we dip under 10:45 to play in the first half. 7-6 Britons as the Scots missed their extra point on the last touchdown.
Albion starts the afternoon on defense with Anarot and Carter as their safeties. Harvey, Edwards, and Robinson as their cornerbacks. Rodriguez and Wickens as their linebackers. Fullerton, Reynolds, Kubit, Miller, and Lynn on that defensive line. Here comes a rush. Zaborowski steps away from it. Then he's in severe trouble, and he'll just have to go down for a loss of about 3.
And you're looking at what might have been right there for the Britons, as you had a clear blitzer unimpeded to the quarterback and just sidestepped him right there.
Third down now and 8 for the Scots.
Late substitution for the Scots, but because they didn't huddle, it doesn't matter. You get number 5 coming in, that's Chase Hinkle. And 33, Lars Murray.
Empty backfield now. 8 seconds on the play clock for Zaborowski, the senior, with plenty of time. 5, 4, 3, got the snap right there. Plenty of time across the middle. This one a little underthrown to Yancey.
On the ball.
And a nice job by Harvey to come over and to break that one up. So that'll set up a 4th down. And the Britons about to get the football back.
And that was a case where a longer windup than usual out of Zaborowski on that play allowed the defender to make the break on that ball. Usually his windup hasn't been as significant or dramatic as that one was.
Colin Powell will drop back here for the Brits.
Good hold right there on defense by the Britons.
Now they need to be able to convert this thing. Almost got there. Poor comes up and then to let it bounce. Would have been a tough catch, and he had too many Scots in his face, and they'll down at 16.
One of the toughest things to do, we always say it, Jim, is catch those punts on the run like that. And with the wind wreaking havoc as well, you don't want to risk turning it over. More fall sports, Jim. The Albion College fall sports season is winding down. Check out the women's soccer home game against Calvin College, 7 p.m. this coming Tuesday the 24th. And the volleyball match against Calvin, 6:30 this coming Friday, October 27th. So still some fall sports action to go. Go to GoBrits.com.
Thomas is 7 for 12 on the afternoon. He hands to Zarnecki. That's his 7th try. Pat had 36 going into that one. Add another couple to that one. So Pat Zarnecki with about 38 yards of rushing right now.
Don't give up on the run. They're only getting a couple in some cases, but again, you keep swinging, you're going to hit one.
Doubles top, doubles bottom. Again, Zarnecki in the backfield. Thomas with some time, plenty of time. Across the middle to Koski for the completion for the first down. 32-yard line, make it the 33. So a nice job by Sean Koski to pull that one in.
And the Brits feel like they can win these one-on-one matchups. Thomas usually would pull that ball down and run, but he's staying in the pocket longer, I'm noticing, in this game.
That's Koski's 4th of the afternoon. He's got over 60 yards right now. There comes Zarnecki to midfield. Nice job by Pat Zarnecki in the interior of that offensive line. Opened up a nice hole for the Britons that time.
Good patient run, was able to cut it to his left, as you can see here, and he got out of 2 leg tackles. I like the leg drive Zarnecki has, the way he's finishing these runs.
Koski with 4 catches now for 79 yards, and Zarnecki now with his 8th tote will put him over 50 for the afternoon. Fake to Zarnecki, throw out in the flat. Again, that's Koski. He loses one Scott, and he moves the football in a little deeper to Scott's territory at the 37 before he steps out of bounds.
Bad angle taken right there by number 27, the sophomore Colin Smith. Thought he was going to take it to the sideline, and he basically just gave him that that spin move back to the inside.
Thomas now 8 for 13 on the afternoon. So he drops with time. Now he runs out of time, and he's going to go down back around that midfield stripe. Boy, a tough time there. Derek Ellis, the young fellow, putting on the heat. And Thomas was trying to get away, and Ellis basically just came free. Thomas had no place to go.
Waited too long. Thomas likes to scramble, but he likes to roll outside to scramble, and that's a case where he couldn't step forward to see his path.
Thomas now 9 for 14 on the afternoon, a couple of sacks.
That's when you can't take that one, Jim.
Zarnecki runs into a whole bunch of Scots right at the line of scrimmage. He's still fighting, but he can't get loose. And he'll go down for just a very short gain, and it'll set up a 3rd down and long now for the Brits, who looked like they had things under control just a play ago.
Zach Peterson, 35 right there. Had him by the foot and then did everything he could to hold on for dear life because Zarnecki was not going down without help.
3rd and 18, and I'll tell you what, from here you're probably going to have to punt it away if you don't pick up a chunk. Right across the middle.
Oh, gotta get
That's
that.
got to be a little interference, and
Yes.
it is late. Came in very late. It was intended for Kyle Winchell. Winchell was really wrapped up right around the 33-yard line as you watch the interference call here, Jim.
Coming in early, and also watch I believe it's the left hand, gets him on the head of the right hand.
Winchell had no chance whatsoever for that one. So the interference call is going to help this drive along.
It's going to be an automatic 1st down regardless of distance.
And the Britons offense.
Pass interference, defense number 24, 15-yard penalty from the previous spot, automatic 1st down.
All right, that was a much-needed penalty right there and a much-needed drive that we need to keep going here at this point in time.
Does not erase the sins of that last 4-down sequence, though, Jim. Thomas is going to have to know at some point when that pocket collapses, if you don't have an out, throw it in the general vicinity of a receiver, but get rid of that ball. Don't take the loss.
Will be forced to the spot of the 10 yards.
Okay, that will be 11 1st downs now in the afternoon for the Britons.
It can't be spot of the foul in 15 yards because the spot of the foul was farther than 15 yards down. As long as it's a 1st down, who cares? Let's just get the next play going.
Brits have 8 1st downs passing, 2 for the rush, and 1 now for the penalties this afternoon. They have total yardage of 189 on 30 plays in what has been a very even football game. 31 offensive plays for the Scots, 30 offensive plays now for the Brits, with number 31 coming up here, 1st down and 10 with 7:09 to play in the 1st half. Mitchell on the delay, and he'll pick up 3, maybe 4 on that carry.
Stop made by number 97, Dylan Bergman. Again, they're going low on the tackles. They're getting the shoe tops, and the Britons are doing a good job driving those legs, picking up a few extra yards.
Time of possession still a little bit twerky here at this point in time. Koski with the catch, 20-yard line, make it the 19. And he had a wide open Blanzy blitzing down the left side of that football field if he would have seen it. We've got a flag in the backfield, though, and this one may be coming back.
Out of that, you have a late hit. Look where the penalty flag was thrown, Jim.
And we'll wait for the officials to open the mic and let us know exactly what's going on.
Foul, roughing the passer.
There you go.
30 on the defense, 15 yards from the end of the run, automatic 1st down.
Good eyeballs there, Jimmy.
Although
1st down and 10.
You can't go 15 from the 20. You got to go half the distance, don't you?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, he's more. Okay.
1st and goal right now at the 9, so
Yep.
that's exactly what we'll do.
Once you're inside the 20, any of those penalties, you got to go half the distance, and in that case, it marks it down to the 10 for a red zone 1st and goal opportunity.
Doubles top, doubles bottom for the Brits. Zarnecki the back in the backfield. Scott shows some run blitz. Zarnecki goes around the left end, spins out of that 1st tackle, and he'll be close to the 6. Give him 3 on that 1st down play. Clock rolls at 6:23 and counting in a very quick 1st half, Jim.
Yep.
Don't forget at halftime we will have all the homecoming celebration.
I'm rooting for you.
There we go. Well,
you look good with a crown.
You know, it's only taken 45 years, but maybe that'll work for me. How's that? Thomas drops, throws in the end zone. Got his man. That's Koski. And look at that. Somehow today, Thomas and Sean Koski have started to get a little chemistry you were talking about, Jim.
Well, again, we can't say it enough. I know that circumstances usually will require quarterbacks to switch places, but you know, you're at the point, and you said it so right, Jim, at the beginning of the game. Sometimes you're just going to have to roll with one quarterback and see what you have, and that's when you're going to start to develop the chemistry that you saw pay off in a play like that to Koski.
So the Britons now with a 7-point lead, trying to make it 8, as the snap is good and the kick is perfect, and just like that, the Britons go up 14-6. We'll head down to the sideline right now. Johnny, got any other scores for us out there?
Yeah, Hope is trying to stop the bleeding. However, it is now 27-7 trying about halfway through the second quarter.
Oh my gosh, you got to be happy, and so are all the Britons down there with the way that offense just moved down the football field.
Oh yeah, it's awesome to see. They're making the most of their opportunities, moving the ball effectively, and getting some points out of it, despite, again, getting some penalties along the way, which if they can eliminate those, this should be a very, very good game for the Brits.
One of the things you might help us with right now, I do not see Marlon Martin anywhere around here. Is he out today? We have not heard that one yet, but
I spoke with head athletic trainer Andy Lawrence, and he said Marlon would not be playing today with that lower body injury.
There you go. Very good.
I like that guarded language right there.
You know what?
Lower body injury.
You've got a future, I think, in the training world nowadays, Johnny. How's that? Keep it up, buddy.
That sounds good.
That's all you have to do is just say, I'm not a doctor. Leave the medical questions to the doctor. I'll answer the questions about football.
Hinkle and Luckhurst will go back deep here for the Scots, and this ball will be kicked to number 5, Chase Hinkle. Take it at the 9, head up the home sideline, and he'll step out of bounds somewhere around that 30-yard line. We'll wait till the gentleman in the striped shirt marks it officially at the 32.
Good
maybe
return,
the 33.
Again, you saw the way the wind influenced that kick, Jim. They kicked it to that corner like we talked about, and he definitely had to field that one, but it's becoming closer and closer to getting in that corner where it's going to sneak out of bounds and give them even better starting field position.
Alma this afternoon has done a pretty decent job of moving the football here on the Britons, but they've not been very effective of being able to score their possessions, and we have a flag already out, and I think we had way too many Scots on the football field at one point in time.
Well, they're 11 now, but
I think there are about 6 of
Illegal
them.
substitution on the offense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Had to run a couple guys off, or they would have been playing with a baker's dozen, I think is my grandmother used to call that. 13. Doubles top, doubles bottom. Zaborowski will work all by himself in that backfield here, as they'll stack receivers here on the home side on the short side.
I'll have to Google why they call that a baker's dozen.
Because the baker always added an extra cookie in there for you, Jimmy. How's that?
Jim.
Cannon with the screen pass, and he's going to get an awful lot on first down as he's crossed the 40 to the 42-yard line. So it was first down at about 15. Make it second down now and 1 after a 14-yard pass play to Cannon.
What a well-designed play, running strong side right and throwing back left on that quick screen, and the defense was selling out to their left, Jim. Well-designed play.
Well, we've got 5.5 minutes to play in this first half. The Brits really need to hold here and maybe put another score on the board before the halftime rolls around. Zaborowski drops. He's got plenty of time, and he's got a wide open receiver. Then into Britain's territory goes 23, Alex Yancey, and Yancey is having a pretty good afternoon against this Britain secondary, as he'll be out of bounds at about the 33-yard line.
Again, you're seeing the impact of the previous drives. The Britons have been gashed up the middle in terms of the run, and now the pass is opened up and they're taking advantage.
So Yancey with the catch, and then Reinhardt with the run.
Kubit Miller on the stop after a very short gain there. Maybe 2 as we get down to about 4:50 and counting in the first half. 14-6, the Britons lead.
Again, that wind picks up. You can probably hear it in our headsets coming right across the field from the visitors' sideline right across to the home sideline. As Kozar gets up and moves over to his tight end spot now on that visitors' sideline. Reinhardt to the left of the quarterback. Zaborowski calls his own number right up the middle. Brits slow things down but don't stop it. And he'll get close to the 26-yard line before they knock him down. It'll set up a third down now and about 4.
Britain's going to need to hold them to little to no gain here and force a tough fourth down decision with just over 4 minutes to play now in the first half. Each team with all 3 timeouts.
Zaborowski again with Reinhardt in the backfield. Doubles here on the home side, single to the top. He'll turn, hand to Reinhardt, he'll sweep, and the Brits all over it. Nice job by the Britons. 44 is Hunter Shaw, and he saw it coming, stepped across that line of scrimmage, and Reinhardt put the brakes on when he did that.
I think now you have to punt, even though the offense is staying out in the field. I look for another quick kick.
Ball only at the 32-yard line.
This is a gutsy call if they're going to legit go for it. They did this once before, and they did a quick kick.
3rd and 9.
Like
well,
he's far enough. Maybe he's taking a penalty, though, too.
Short enough football field right now that I would think you're probably just going to run this and hope for your best. They've got 9 yards on fourth downs. 4th down and 9 here. Brits defense having a great opportunity here. Zaborowski drops. Here comes the pressure. They're in his face. Are they going to get him? No, he escapes. Rolls to his left and throws deep down the field and over everybody's head. And a great job by the Britons that time putting the heat on Sean Kubit-Miller. There you go, Coach. The big fella. You could see he got his shirt grabbed as he was coming through that hole, but he's the one that really blew it all up from the beginning. And Zaborowski just ran out of real estate before he had to throw that one away.
Good hold by the Brits, Jim.
Alumni band members here today, so as we said, we're going to go down on the field here at halftime today and allow you to have the entire full halftime experience here as we'll take a break for a couple of minutes here and get ready for that second half. But more importantly, the Britons with an opportunity, 3:03 to play in the first half, and they're up by 8 with a chance maybe to stretch that right before the half. Thomas in the pistol again. I believe that is Mitchell in his backfield with him. Hand the football off, and Mitchell will be forward for about 3, maybe 4. Still moving, but everybody's basically whistled dead as the scrum gets stopped somewhere around the 36.
Once the offensive line starts joining the push right there, the officials blowing that whistle. Good luck separating anybody at that point, though.
4 yards for Mitchell on first down. 2:40 to play here in the half. Brits with all 3 timeouts, so they're in no hurry.
Nope. No reason to rush this one.
Thomas fakes the handoff, then throws. And the completion will be good to Sykes for a first down. Nope, they're going to say he didn't catch the football. Oh, boy, what a shame that one was. That would have been an easy first down. They came in here at the very end. The official on the side there came in as you watch the replay. And the ball must have, yep, there it is. It came out there as he was going down to the ground. The official right there on the spot says, nope. He waved it off, so instead of being first down and 10, it's 3rd down now and 6.
So he didn't complete the process of a catch.
Exactly.
What a mess that's turned into in football, huh?
Poor comes in motion. Thomas running out of room and real estate. Gets out of the pocket. Now he's on the run. And we've got a flag in the backfield. Throw goes up. Sykes made a beautiful catch. Nope, he couldn't pull it down. And I don't think the flag's going to matter now because that'll set up a 4th down and 6.
I think you go ahead and wipe it off. I think that's what the Scots are going to do.
And you'll try to get that football back right now. Probably.
Holding, offense number 74.
Tough situation for the Britons there, and almost a circus catch by Tyler Sykes on the other end.
That hold going against 74 Jordan Jones, the freshman.
You're making some nice kicks, man.
Yeah, the official likes his shoes. There you go.
There you go. I'm loving it. Chase Hinkle.
You wanted to peek inside the game, right? There you go.
Chase Hinkle waits for this punt. Good rush. Big, high, booming kick. Hinkle runs all the way over to the sideline with his arm in the air, and he steps out of bounds with the 21.
And do you know why that was such a good punt?
No.
Because he likes those kicks.
There you go. They're going to say he stepped out at the 20. That leaves 80 yards between the Scots and their goal line with 2:10 to play in this first half.
I love the positive encouragement.
I do too. I think that's fun. It's all part of a D3 football. There's just no doubt about it. It doesn't get any better than this. I know there's all the folks watching out there right now. They all like their Division I teams. They're a Michigan fan or a Michigan State or whoever, but give me a Saturday afternoon between Alma and Albion almost any day, and I'll come watch this one. Thank you very much. 2:10 to play. Zaborowski with an opportunity here as he sets three receivers wide to the top, and he brings one in motion back to the home side. He'll turn, he'll hand the football to Reinhardt, and Reinhardt has room. 30, spins at the 33 and knocked down at the 34. So a little draw play caught the Britons looking pass, and Reinhardt gets about a dozen on first down.
They can pick up significant yards on the ground. Usually with your 2-minute drill, you're thinking more throw than run, but these days you're able to break off big chunks on the ground, so it takes about the same amount of time.
Both teams with 3 timeouts. So Zaborowski also has his full complement as he tries to engineer a drive right before the half. Don't forget they will have the football as Reinhardt sweeps visitors sideline now, gets through the initial push, and will pick up the first down. Boy, it sure looked like they had everybody locked up there at the top of the screen as you watch this run. Look what happened right here.
Sneaks out.
Goodness gracious. First down and 10, 45-yard line.
But now you're getting to the point where you almost have to start putting the ball up, and it's not necessarily a strength of the Scots team.
Zaborowski again with Reinhardt to his left. And he'll drop back to throw. Here comes the push. Throw up the sideline, right on the money. It's caught inside the 10 to the 5, and it's a touchdown. And I believe that's Yancey with the ball. 23, and that ball was put right on the money.
Well, I'm not hungry, but I'll eat my words right there. It's not a strength of the team. I mean, statistically it's not, but that was a beautifully thrown ball. And going for the strip. 15 yards down the field, you're trying to strip the ball.
And into the end zone for the touchdown, and just like that, the Alma Scots strike.
Chase points now because they missed the extra point on the previous touchdown, so now they're going for 2. It's going to lead. If they don't get this one, though, it's going to lead to interesting decisions as we go farther into the game.
14-12 now.
But you have the Britons defense reeling right now, Jim, after that big play.
They'll hand the ball on that jet sweep, and the 2-point conversion will be successful as Reinhardt able to run it in the end zone and tie it up at 14.
Big plays. The Britons defense, Jim, just giving up big plays this season.
Alex Yancey with a reception for 55 yards right here before the end of the half. That takes him to 4 catches and 115 yards on the afternoon. He's averaging just under 30 a pop. And a big reason for that one was that 55-yard, just absolute perfectly thrown pass right on his fingertips, and he pulled it in and then just decided he was not going to go down, Jimmy, as you said. He had Harvey right there on his back. Harvey trying to rip that ball loose.
For 15 yards.
And Yancey just said, hop on the back there, Mr. Harvey, and I'll take you into the promised land. That's exactly what happened. 14 all right now, a minute and 2 left in this first half. Let's see if the Brits can somehow answer.
Webcast at albion.edu. That's webcast at albion.edu. Go ahead and shoot us a message and let us know where you're watching. If you are not one of the many alums here at Albion College today, although I look around, there's people as far as the eye can see in both directions. So a lot of folks here today, which is a good thing.
Busy afternoon here in Albion, Michigan, in a very good football game as this little squibbler will get pulled in at about the 28-yard line. And that was Zach Kitka that brought that ball up to close to the 37.
Couple of plays, and they're
right back in business.
Yeah.
You bet, man.
Yeah, and the way these offenses run, I mean, Alma just ran a 2-minute drill, and it took about 40 seconds.
Exactly.
So, I mean, you know, things can happen fast. As you see the web or the email address on the screen right there. Again, webcast@albion.edu. Send us a message and let us know where you're watching, what year you graduated, and who you're rooting for.
Doubles go to the top and the bottom right now as Thomas sends one in motion. That's poor. And he'll turn and hand to Zarnecki. And Pat on his feet at midfield. Cuts back towards the sideline. Here he goes. 40, back inside, 30, and inside the 30 to the 27-yard line. And both teams using that draw play on first down to set up this last drive.
Just imagine how much football has changed over the years, Jim. Under a minute, you're thinking throw, 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 and now we're running, and you're getting huge gains out of it.
Coach Gass to be happy with that one. Thomas going for it all in the middle, just too far for Poor. Just barely overthrown in the center of the end zone.
Well, Jim, we talked about earlier, you know, leaving those throws behind the receiver. You're leading him, and, you know, he's going to find that touch. You know, he's so close on a lot of those deep downfield throws. He's leading the receiver now, getting it on the fingertips, just a little bit more air under it, because he definitely had a step on his defender.
Kyle Thomas is 11 for 18 from the afternoon. He's got a couple of touchdown tosses and 159 yards in the air.
Look at the cushion they're giving on the near side, Jim.
Like to add about 27 more here as he throws the swing pass out to Poor. Poor's inside close to the 21, and the Brits will call their first time out with 31 ticks left to go in the half.
Staying in bounds right there with 31 seconds left. That's an easy decision to call that timeout. Used to have 3 of them. And you definitely have one to burn.
Now, why don't we head down to John real quick, see if we've got any updates here from the that Hope Trine game. John, it's getting towards halftime there, I would think, as well, huh?
Yeah, right. Just a few minutes left in that game. Hope is, again, trying to chip away at that lead. It is now 27-14 Trine.
27-14. They are playing that one over in Angola here this afternoon, so Trine probably has their homecoming crowd in the house here this afternoon as they take on Hope in the battle of 1 and 2 here against in the MIAA on a Saturday afternoon.
Hey, Jim, I want to let you know while we have a timeout, the Albion College Theater Department's production of Public Enemy begins its run in the Herrick Auditorium Theater starting on November 9th. General admission is just $5, while anyone with a current Albion ID is admitted for free. Visit albion.edu/theater. That is the RE spelling, or call 629-0344 for a complete schedule of performances and more information.
Sykes and Poor will go up to the visitors' sideline with Poor in the slot.
Remember, it's a third down here.
Blanzy and Koski on our side, and Blanzy in that slot. Thomas with Zarnecki in the backfield to his left. And he'll turn and hand the ball to Pat. Pat has room in the middle. 10 on his feet at the 6. And boy, I'll tell you what, if he could have kept that one leg on the ground, he might have had 6 there, as you'll see the replay.
Watch this tackle. Just gets the shoe top, number 40, I believe that was on the stop.
Their second timeout of the half.
Albion takes that timeout number 2 as it is now first down and goal at the 7.
And that's Dustin Tripp, number 40, one of their sure-handed tacklers that we mentioned in the pregame, Jim. One of those ones who's really putting up the impressive numbers on defense for the Scots.
So the Britons with the opportunity right now to head into this locker room with a big smile on their face and momentum. If they can punch this one in for 6. And don't forget, the initial coin toss was won by the Scots, and they deferred to the second half, so they will have the ball to open up quarter number 3 here today.
Both teams have hit some big plays through the air and on the ground. The Britons defense has given up some big plays through the air again this week. Something they're going to have to correct, but you know, you can only correct so many things over so much a period of time. You know, the run defense has to become a little more stout, and the secondary has to keep those receivers in front of them instead of letting them get a step behind them.
Koski is the guy that they've been very familiar with this afternoon. He's got single coverage down on the bottom side. They'll throw a screen pass to the top. That's Sykes, and Sykes is fighting to the 1. Not quite in, but he's close. And will the Brits use their final timeout? They will, with 18 seconds left and the ball on about the 1 foot line.
Timeout.
The classic question that I ask you every time we're in this down and distance with this time. Do you still go under pistol here because that's the offense you run? Or do you throw your quarterback up under center and just try to push, dive over the top?
Well, that's a good question. You're about to get an answer here pretty soon, right? I understand what you're saying.
My way of thinking is if you're about 6 feet tall, that's 2 yards if you just stretch out. So all you got to do is take that ball up under center, reach it over your center's head. You probably break the plane, don't you?
Brits are out of timeouts now. There's only 18 seconds left to go in this first half. So whatever this play is, it needs to work.
Well,
if it's a passing play, it does stop the clock. If it's not a passing play, this game could go to halftime before you could do anything about it.
Because of the proximity, though, you know, you're talking 10.5 yards max down the field because the end zone being 10 yards deep. You could probably run here and still get up and do at least one more play. But you're right. You're going to need to basically go for it all here, and they're going to show the pistol look. I mean, their offense is their offense, Jim.
Ball's on the 1 yard line exactly as Thomas lines up in that pistol with Zarnecki to his right. And they will throw the ball to Koski on the left side, and it's incomplete. That's all right. Third down now and goal.
Still time for 2 plays.
Koski had some pretty good coverage on this top side. Nobody going away. Colin Smith right there with him. And I like the idea of Thomas making up his mind immediately and getting rid of that football as well, not wasting any more time than he had to.
Here's the other thing, Jim. If they run this play and they don't get in, 4th down means they have to either rush the kick team out. You're not going to have time. So, I mean, this play, I don't think you can run here. I think this play is going to have to go into the end zone. Does he have a timeout, I believe, by the Scots? There's a the officials are stopping the. You have a coach on the field. Maybe that was the play clock hadn't been restarted.
So 12. All right, we're wanting the game clock to go up somewhere.
1-5.
1-5. There we go.
Please reset the play clock to 25.
All right, play clock goes to 25. Game clock goes to 15. 3rd down and goal from the 1 for the Britons.
I'm only catching like every 2 or 3 syllables.
Kind of that wireless kind of cutting out on our officials down here today.
I do like that he gave the 2 and the 5 with the fingers. So that definitely helps.
And before everything gets started, we have a whistle. And let's see, what do we have now? Ball sitting on the 1 yard line right now. And we're having a whale of a time getting everything all set up so we can run this 3rd down play.
Basically works as another timeout, though, for the Britons, Jim. Gives you plenty of time to draw that play up.
Please reset clock to 15.
Okay, he wants the game clock back up to 15 here again. There we go. That's back up where it needs to be.
Please.
We're all just breathless with anticipation.
We're having a real problem with our wireless microphones here today on the official that's out on the field.
John, go down and see what the official needs us to do.
We can get John to make things happen for us down there.
Run out and help. We're a helpful bunch.
This 3rd down play is taking about 25 minutes here before we're going to get into the half.
This is like the last 30 seconds of an NCAA men's tournament basketball game.
It really is.
You have 30 seconds left. You know you budget about a half hour for it.
So can the Brits knock this in? They're out of timeouts. 15 ticks left on the clock. Thomas in the pistol again with Zarnecki right behind him. And they'll hand the ball to Pat. And Pat is going to get wrestled down at the 3, and now with 9 seconds, 8 seconds, 7 seconds, 6 seconds.
Zarnecki lost his helmet. That's actually, unless they call a runoff, because he lost his helmet, he has to come off, which means they're
going to get the kick team
stops.
on maybe.
Yes. This is totally legit. If the player loses a helmet, the clock has to stop. So unless there's a runoff.
10-second runoff.
10-second runoff, and that's going to be the end of the half. Yep.
I wondered if there was a runoff on that.
Offensive players came off. It requires a 10-second runoff.
That'll do it.
And
so the Brits,
because they were out of
unfortunately,
timeouts,
have no way of stopping the clock. And because of that, the opportunity from the 1 will go away. and they'll go in at halftime tied at 14 between the Brits and the Scots. What a ball game we've got going on this afternoon. John, why don't we go down to you real quick if we can find him real quick. Any updates on the halftime on that Hope Trine game before the band takes over?
Yeah, Trine was able to actually sneak in a few more points for the end of the first half, and is now 30 to 14.
30 to 14 Trine at the half. Right here it's 14 to 14 with the British Eights heading their way out onto the halftime festivities right now. And we're going to step away in just a minute once they're ready to go and give you the entire halftime. It is homecoming here at Albion today, so there will be a Queen and King ceremonies, and there will be all types of things going on today. And we just decided maybe since you weren't able to make it today, we would give you the opportunity to be part of it here this afternoon. It's the Britons and the Scots locked up at 14 here on the Britons Football Network, and we'll send it down to the British Eights.
Python's first venture into epic cinematic storytelling, Holy Grail. The film presents us Arthur is not alone in his search for the Holy Grail. Indeed, he has several brave and valiant knights joining him on this quest, including Sir Lancelot the Brave, Sir Galahad the Pure, Sir Robin the not quite so brave as Sir Lancelot, and of course, Sir None appearing in this picture. After much searching and questing, these heroic knights must take respite around their table, their round table. And the minstrels did play a jaunty tune called The Knights of the Round Table. from Monty Python's Flying Circus. I never wanted to be a barber anyway. I wanted to be a lumberjack, leaping from tree to tree as they float down the mighty rivers of British Columbia.
John and his wife Gail became members of the British family when their children were in class of 08 and Lauren class of 11, 18 and out. John passed away this summer and is dearly missed by many. The British chose to honor him this season by bringing back the show and also including his initials in the drill formation. Special thanks to Gail for joining us today in the President's Box. We know that John will always be part of the British 8 in spirit. And now, in the words of Eric Idle and the troupe of Monty Python, let's always look on the bright side of life. fight song in the MIAA. Fight on!
We're at halftime here at Albion College as we're ready for the King and Queen festivities right now. We'll keep it down on the sideline. When everything's done, we'll come back and give you the stats from the first half. 14-14, great football game going on here on the Britain's Sports Network here this afternoon. Well, let's go down and see who's the king and the queen here for 2017.
Your attention to the 50-yard line and Albion College's president, Dr. Mari Ditzler, and last year's homecoming Royal Britons, Bobby Budlong, Morgan Benham, and Brett Cunningham. He presents our 2017 homecoming Royal Court. The students of this year's homecoming Royal Court were nominated by student clubs and organizations for their service to others. They were selected by a committee comprised of students, faculty, and staff. And now, please join me in honoring this year's homecoming Royal Court. Please hold your applause until all members of the court are announced. Sean Barton, junior from Dexter, Michigan, nominated by Union, Ford, and Delta Sigma Pi. Jody Bashir, senior from Washington, Michigan, nominated by Alpha Psi Delta. Olivia Conover, senior from Flushing, Michigan, nominated by Umbrella. Alina Farouk, a senior from West Bloomfield, Michigan, nominated by Omicron Delta Kappa. Chad Hopkins, senior from Homer, Michigan, nominated by Delta Tau Delta. Kaylee Krupp, senior from Mason, Michigan, nominated by Kappa Delta. Genevieve Marheineke, a senior from Shelby Township, nominated by Alpha Chi Omega. Anna Miller, a senior from Livonia, Michigan, nominated by Omicron Delta Kappa. Anna Herzog, senior from South Lyon, Michigan, nominated by Alpha Psi Delta. And Wendy Wang, a senior from Midland, Michigan, nominated by Alpha Sigma Chi and Habitat for Humanity. Please give a round of applause for your 2017 homecoming Royal Court.
I would love it if it could be on the homecoming court.
This past week, the student body marched on 3 homecoming Royal Britons, resulting in a tie. So this year, for the first time ever, we will be awarding 4 Royal Britons! Royal Court and Spirit Week activities of finishing success.
All right, we'll take this over here at this point in time and bring it on back here to the booth as we get everybody's microphones reset and reworked and all that kind of good stuff and get everything rebalanced. Fun time here at the football field on a homecoming Saturday afternoon. It's 14-14 here. As you see the Brits and the Scots locked up in a battle here this afternoon. And Jim, why don't we take a look at some first half stats?
Very early on in quarter number one, Kyle Thomas hits Sean Koski for a 51-yard touchdown, and it makes it 6-0 with the extra point good, 7-0. Zaborowski responds first part of the second quarter with a 4-yard touchdown run, and that made it 7-6. The extra point was no good. The Brits answered with a 7-yard touchdown strike from Kyle Thomas to Sean Koski, and that made it 14-6. The Scots responded near the end of the first half with just 1:07 to play in quarter number two. Zaborowski hits Yancey for a 55-yard touchdown strike, and that was a pretty quick scoring drive. It was a 2-minute drill that lasted barely a minute, and the 2-point conversion, the jet sweep to Hinkle, made it 14-14. The Britons had a chance at the end of the first half with a couple of plays inside the 5, but were unable to cash in. Individually for the Scots, Zaborowski 5 of 12. Not a very efficient first half, but 129 yards through the air, 1 touchdown, and that 1 interception did not end up costing the Scots in the long run. On the ground, Reinhardt has 71 yards on 14 carries. Zaborowski 12 for 66 and a touchdown. And Alex Yancey, pretty much the only player who's catching passes for them, 4 for 115 yards and a touchdown. For the Britons on offense, Kyle Thomas 13 of 22 for 171 and 2 touchdowns. Zarnecki leads all rushers, 13 carries for 107 yards. And Sean Koski has 7 catches for 112. Also, Poor has 3, Blanzy has 2, and Mitchell Arnson has 1. On defense, you have 2 different players with sacks for Alma. That's Derek Ellis, number 94, with 2 sacks, and Dustin Tripp with 1. So pretty good job. 9 tackles by Zach Peterson leads the team. 6 tackles by Colton Tyson for the Brits. 9 tackles by Jose Rodriguez. Haven't called his name a whole lot, but he has definitely been out there making some plays on defense. 5 tackles apiece for Robinson and for Wickens. And usually we have to get some oxygen to call all of the scoring plays from the first half in a Britons game, and this is one of those rare cases, Jim, where we were able to read through the entire statistics, including the defense, before we got back to the kick.
That's kind of amazing, isn't it, huh? John, before we send you the sideline, do you have an update for us at halftime for any of the ball games around the conference?
Trine somehow scored again right as I was coming up the stairs. They finished the first half 36-14.
Wow.
And then in the Adrian Kalamazoo action, they are tied 7-7 halfway through the first quarter. And near the end of the first quarter in the Olivet Benedictine game, Benedictine is up 7-3.
There you go. I'll tell you what, the battle for number 1 here in the MIAA is being won right at this point at halftime by Trine, and they've just absolutely been dominant here in the first half against Hope. That's a little surprising, I think, John, for my way of thinking, don't you? Huh?
Yeah, I thought it'd be more competitive, but going back to that Trine game here, when watching them play, they were the best athletes I have seen play here in quite a while. I think they are the real deal.
Good football team, Trine, and it looks like they're about ready to put their mark on that number 1 spot. Kind of windy down there, John, today. How's that affecting the football from your field's standpoint?
There's a little change in the ball movement on kicks and punts, but yeah, nothing compared to 2 weeks ago. Not as much of a factor this game.
Almost like there's no wind whatsoever as we send John back to the sideline for us, and we appreciate all the work that he does for us. John Billio, our sideline reporter, and also the member of the Albion lacrosse team that is so successful here. And he'll be getting his season going here in a couple of months as they're training right now and getting ready to go. Britons on the football field, ready to kick this football off, and dropping back deep again for the Scots. Number 21 is Chris Luckhurst. Number 5 is Chase Hinkle. Brits, as you said, Jimmy, really left some points on the scoreboard in that first half when they got the ball to the 1 yard line right before the end of the quarter and weren't able to punch that ball in. So let's see how that affects the second half of play here as we're underway here. Kick will go back to Luckhurst, and he'll get it at the 14-yard line. And he'll be wrapped up and dropped right there at the 22-yard line. Nice job by the Brits to get down on that tackle.
Guess who, Jim?
Who?
Jose Rodriguez.
There you go.
Telling you, every time there's a stop, it seems like that young man is there.
He is a special team machine, is he not? He's just unbelievable when it comes to that.
Tackling machine. Led the team with 9 tackles in the first half, as we mentioned, and gets the special team rap there as well.
So we move everything around. We had to move our volumes up a little bit there at halftime, Jimmy, to get everything going. I've got the master, I think, back to where we need it to be, and everything is working out well. How's that?
As long as you don't turn up the official's microphone.
First down and 10 here for the Alma Scots, and we'll set their offense here in just a minute. But all you need to know is Zaborowski at quarterback, Reinhardt in the backfield to his left as they will turn and fake the handoff to Zaborowski, and the Britons say, you're going down. Reinhardt with the fake, Zaborowski with the ball, and Zaborowski finds the turf here as Austin Lynn busts in early and knocks him down for a loss of about 4.
The Britons women's volleyball team was victorious at St. Mary's, Indiana, 3-2. So congratulations to them, and we'll try to get some other Britons updates as well. Men's soccer went to a 1-1 draw in double overtime as well.
Zaborowski throws on second down. He'll get the yards that he lost on that first down throw as he goes out to his favorite target, 23, Alex Yancey. It's Turberg, Yancey, Cozart, their receivers. Cozart playing the tight end spot as they have now a third down and about 7. And it would be great if the Brits defense can get their offense right back on the football field with no harm and no foul.
The Brits women's soccer team also went to a 2-2 draw at Kalamazoo in 2 overtime. So there's a lot of that going around, a lot of extra play.
They bring a guy in motion. Zaborowski flushed out of the pocket, and he's forward for the first down. Boy, Brits right there. Looked like they had him for a loss. Then he got free, and the next thing you know, he's ahead to move the sticks at the 32-yard line, make it the 33. So first down as Dylan Zaborowski changes what looked to be a sack into a nice pickup of about 8 yards and a first down. He'll drop, he'll throw up to the flats. Intended target was Yancey, and the ball thrown really a little too far for him and out of bounds. Second down now and 10. Trying just absolutely rolling hope here this afternoon as they are making, I think, their homecoming fans very happy over there because I believe it's homecoming right now in Angola this afternoon as well. Brits will go on the road next week. We will not be with them, but we will be back at Hope for that game on the first Saturday afternoon of November. Zaborowski rushed and flushed out of the pocket, had to throw that one away.
And that was the same kind of throw that was intercepted in the first quarter, if you'll recall, Jim, going back foot, backpedaling, and this time he was able to throw it beyond the receiver and get it out of bounds, put it in a spot where only his receiver could have possibly had access.
Wickens with a nice job there to put the pressure on. Remember Wickens last week with the 98-yard extra point return as he scooped up the extra point there at Olivet and ran it back for 2 for the Britons.
I'd settle for a 31-yard fumble return for a touchdown right here.
Zaborowski by himself. Here comes the blitz. Forces him back in the middle of the pile, and he's going to go down this time.
Do we have a face mask, though, Jim?
Wickens with the sack, and we'll have to wait for the call in the middle of that pile.
Looked like a hand got in there for a stop, and I don't know if he caught the face mask or if this is going to be a hold.
Officials talking it over down there on the sideline. We'll try to bump that mic up accordingly so that he didn't blow everybody out here. And we'll wait for the call. There you go, holding.
Offense number 6. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Third down.
All right, so the Brits will actually accept that penalty. I can't imagine the Brits would accept that penalty. That would have been third down and 10.
It would be fourth
down and 10 right instead of third down and 20.
No way you accept that penalty.
I got to believe the Brits are going to decline this one.
Yeah, there's no way you accept that. Don't give them an extra play.
And that's exactly, I think, what you're seeing from the Britton sideline. A little miscommunications there between coaching staff and officials, but I think we have it right now.
Hold, declined.
There you
Fourth
go.
down.
There you go.
That makes more sense, and I don't think it was ever the decision of the Albion staff that they wanted that one. Come on in, and that will cause a punt now and get the Brittons off the field.
I was rooting for you at halftime of the homecoming.
Well, I don't know that I was even on the list there today, but that's the way that it works.
Well, if it'll make you feel better, I'll stop and I'll buy you some flowers on the way.
Well, thanks, man. I appreciate that.
I'll do anything. False start or an offside? I think a false start caused him to jump.
Colin Poore is the young man that's waiting here for this kick as we wait to decide exactly what happened here before the snap of the football. And the lucky 50-50 winner came through, and always, as they always do, they ask you and me, Jimmy, if they, for their money. And I sent them
number 36, 5-yard penalty, fourth down.
And I always send them over to Kenny Reeker, who just reaches in his pocket, the generous fellow that he is, pulls out all the money and says, there's your half. And he donates the rest of that 50-50 money to the college.
Yeah,
what a wonderful man.
You get whatever's in that pocket.
Exactly.
Could be 10s, could be 20s, could be hundreds.
Yep, could be old peanut M&Ms and some lint. Fake. Caught into Britton's territory. Britton's fall asleep. And just like that, it'll be Alma's football on the 41-yard line. And I'll tell you what, unthinkable.
Fall asleep is the right way to put it too, Jim, because wide open there.
Well, I'll tell you what, you had an opportunity to turn it around right there and have the football back. You jump off sides and then absolutely close the eyelids and take a little nap and leave a receiver all by himself to be able to pull that in for the first down.
The Scots, though, there, Jim, actually did the Britons a favor by not hurrying up to the line of scrimmage. That's an active ball, an active play clock. They could have run the next play while the Britons were still huddling.
Zaborowski fakes and then throws the ball to his tight end. That's Kozart, and this time he pulls it in. He'll be inside the 20, down around the 17, 18-yard line.
And a drive that should have been stopped 2 plays ago. Now they're in the red zone with an opportunity to take the lead.
So first down and 10. Alma Scots, they're trying to win back-to-back for the first time in forever as well against the Britons, as they won the game last year up at Alma, and they're trying to pull off the win here. We're knotted at 14. And Zaborowski calls his own number right up the middle of the football field. He'll get to the 15-yard line before the Brits pull him down, finally pull him down. Kozart in a little tuggling and wrestling match there between one of the defensive linemen, and Kozart kind of got thrown backwards and is now pleading his case to the official, who just looks at him and says, "Bud, it's a contact sport."
When you're a guy that big, though, I think you lose a little street cred when you stand up and you complain about the contact.
First down gets them 4, second down now and 6.
And he is a big dude.
Yeah, he is. 250-some pounds,
yes,
253, and about a 6-foot frame. That's one stout young fellow right there. Zaborowski looking to the end zone. Ball thrown a little too high, and it'll be incomplete. Targeted Chase Kruger there. Kruger did have a step. The ball thrown just a little bit high and a little bit late. And good coverage there by the Brits, Rayshawn Robinson, to be able to knock that one away. Third down now and about 6.
Robinson tried to time his jump right there with the ball at the apex. Got under it just a little bit there, so thankfully that one went just over the fingertips, incomplete.
Scots looked like they want to run the play, and then they step away, look to the sideline. 12 seconds on the play clock. Zaborowski fakes the handoff, drops back, looking to throw in the corner. Same guy, same result as this one, overthrown. And that'll bring up a 4th down now. We'll have to see. Yep, here comes the field goal unit.
Robinson fell down in coverage on that play, Jim. And now you don't take anything for granted, even though they're lining up for a field goal.
Well, the fake punt got them this far.
Although the last time they attempted a field goal on the extra point, bad snap and a missed kick. So
31-yard try by Plisco here as he's on the right hash.
Certainly has the leg.
This will be the first opportunity for Alma to go ahead if they can convert this one here in the afternoon. Good snap, good placement. Kick is right through the middle of the uprights, and that will a penalty on the middle of the field. Let's see if that is against the Brits or the Scots.
Well, if it's against the Brits, if it's an offsides, it's not going to be enough for a first down because it was 4th and 6. Although it does make you wonder, do you take points off the board if this were an offsides penalty?
Yeah, that's always the great debate, and most coaches won't.
Kick?
Most coaches don't take points off the scoreboard, but we'll just wait and see.
Nothing would surprise me right now. I mean, you gamble on a 4th and long and you come up big.
And
they're going to take it.
I think they are going to take it.
So if this is just an offside penalty, it would bring up a 4th and 1, which means you're not re-kicking.
Personal foul.
Oh,
running into the kicker. Defense number 35. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Well, it can't be
a correction.
running
Half
into
the
the
distance
kicker.
to the goal. Automatic first down.
There you go. So roughing the kicker
is a personal foul. Running into the kicker is a 5-yard penalty. So one of those two isn't correct.
So it's first down now and goal for the Scots, who thought they had just gone ahead 17-14, and instead they'll try to increase that lead as they'll be first down now and goal at the 7.
It's when you get an automatic first down like that, I guess I understand, but I'm still of the persuasion that you don't take points off the board. But the Scots looking to turn 3 into 7.
And the
Britons
Britons
push
now
this one down.
Got an opportunity to maybe make them pay, but the defense is going to have to stand up and really make something happen.
Offense acting discombobulated, but whenever they do that, they usually end up breaking off a big play.
Reinhardt to the right of the quarterback, and they will call the quarterback draw play, and he'll be inside the 5 to about the 3. So Zaborowski, who has had a really good afternoon of running, close to the end zone here as he gets about half of what he needs, and it'll set up second down and goal from the 3.
Strange if you think about it, Jim, how much miscommunication there was on that play to call a quarterback draw.
Yeah, no,
I'm just going to call, I'm tired of waiting for the play. I'm just going to call my own number.
Going to take it myself and to do it again, and this time the Brits are ready for him. They'll stop him for a yard, maybe 2 loss.
Well, that's what the play that got them the 2-point conversion. They were running the opposite direction from left to right when he was able to sweep it in on the other side. There they went left to right in motion with the jet sweep, but the quarterback decided to keep that one, and he paid for it.
Austin Lynn, the big fellow that disrupted the play. Third down now and goal from the 5. I'll tell you how big would this be if the Britons could at least force them to try another field goal rather than keep them out of the end zone here.
Yep, it's not a gimme. And the Scots have missed an extra point.
Reinhardt to the left. Fake the ball to him. Zaborowski throws across the middle to Cozart, and he's got it. Oh, the big fella got a step in the back of the end zone, and the ball delivered right on time and right on the money. As you can see, the little push off there to get some separation. And just like that, the Brits find themselves down 6 with the extra point coming.
So they took the gamble of taking the 3 off the board with the personal foul penalty. Pushed them into a goal-to-go situation, and they were able to cash it in.
So 10-12 to play here in the third quarter. And the Scots have their first lead of the afternoon, and the extra point is good. And we knocked the kicker down again, I think, that time. I think it's just the follow through and the attempt to block. And that roughing the kicker penalty took 3 points off the board, and the Scots able to convert it into 7, and just like that, it's 21-14. And the first time this afternoon now, the Brits offense will be operating from a deficit position, and we'll see if they can turn things around.
File it under the for what it's worth file there, Jim, but I saw Hunter Shaw, number 44, favoring one of his legs, kind of limping off the field a little bit, so hopefully that's just something he'll shake off, and they'll be right back out there because they definitely need Hunter Shaw on defense.
As you watch the band members here, the tuba players going through a little bit of a up and down session here on the sideline.
Including the alums. everybody, including the players, stop and turn around and walk.
Everybody having a good time here today. It's homecoming, and no matter what happens on the football field, everybody that's back here at Albion this afternoon having a good time being back home. You always can enjoy a homecoming Saturday and Sunday, no matter what the circumstances might be. So the Britons now have their work cut out for them. Down by a touchdown, low bouncing kick. Ray Shine will pick it up at the 25. He's crossed the 30 to the 35 before he gets dropped. And it'll be first down and 10 now for the Britons.
Good starting field position by the Brits right there. It's the second time, I believe, in a row that they've elected for a low line drive kick.
Well, the Britons got fooled on a fake punt, which kept the drive alive, and then a roughing the kicker penalty, which allowed the Albion Scots to come up with the touchdown instead of the field goal, and now they need to figure out a way to put some offense together here as they open up their first drive here of the third quarter. Thomas again, the quarterback. Zarnecki, the running back, and he will be to the right now of Kyle Thomas. Doubles to the top, doubles to the bottom.
Nearly a 5-minute drive to start the quarter, Jim. We don't see those very often.
Not at all. They'll fake and throw, and this one to
Koski,
and I don't know how he pulled that one in. Sean Koski was laying on the ground. That ball thrown right on the money, and Koski able to reach up and pull this in. Watch this replay. What a nice toss.
I think the only reason this pass is completed is Michael Halata, number 14, gives him so much of a cushion.
And Koski goes up and is able to pull that one in, and now the Brits jump on the interior of the line, and we've got another false start. I think that's 3 on the Britons now this afternoon.
2nd and 2 now.
False start.
2nd and 7.
Offense, number 51. 5-yard penalty, second down.
So 2nd down now and 7 as the Britons having a little problem getting out of their own way here early in this third quarter. Let's see if they can right the ship. Doubles top, doubles bottom again. Zarnecki to the right of the quarterback, and they'll hand it to Pat. Pat finds some room. He'll get the first down, and he's still on his feet. Midfield, up the sideline, gets a block, 30, tries to cut it back, and then gets bounced out of bounds somewhere inside the 25, down around the 22.
Beautiful patience on this run by Zarnecki. Watch, runs into the line, think he's going to be stopped. Another foot tackle attempt. Good slide right there to the right. And it's, again, the patience. Then you see waiting for the blocking to develop downfield. Good run, good finish.
First down and 10 for the Britons. Swing pass to Poor, looking for a block. Now he cuts his field, heads back towards the center of the football field, and he'll end up with a yard, maybe 2.
Have to make something out of that play, Jim. With all the momentum you have, you can't afford to take a loss on a play like that.
He'll get a yard as they mark him down for just 1. But boy, I'll tell you, a nice job by the Scots to seal that top corner. Wouldn't allow him to get around the end where he wanted to go. Britons have changed running backs now as Zarnecki gets a bit of a breather, and they'll turn and they'll hand that football off to 28 Doug Freeman, and Freeman will get a couple as he heads right up the middle of the football field. Give him 3, maybe 4 before it's all over and done with.
I like the way he started that run, Jim. Head down and ready to charge.
So Freeman in for 1 play, checks out. Zarnecki, who got a little bit of a breather after a nice run to set him up here deep in Scott's territory, checks back in, and he'll be to the right of Thomas.
Amazing how the season has unfolded. Zarnecki was, I believe, a week 2 insertion.
Yeah. Poor and Sykes, the receivers to the top. Thomas was looking to the middle of the football field, and he's got his intended man down inside the 5-yard line. And again, it's Koski again, and they'll mark him at the 6.
Chemistry.
Yeah.
Chemistry.
All of a sudden,
allow them to build it.
Kyle Thomas and Sean Koski starting to get on the same page here on this homecoming Saturday afternoon. And Thomas will call his own number. Lowers his shoulder, and he's rolling to the end zone, and he's in.
What a tough run there by the quarterback, Thomas.
The big fella says, hey, you know what? I'll put this shoulder down, and I'm going to drive you right in the end zone. Look at this. Nice job of running through about 3 would-be tacklers, and Kyle Thomas, the freshman, is only 5'11", 180 pounds.
So you said the big guy, and I kind of wondered who you were talking about there. But
you know,
both quarterbacks 5'11", about the exact same body type, and both showing a lot of toughness on the run.
Zaborowski, though, with about 30 more pounds than Kyle Thomas, as the extra point will tie it up at 21.
That's the way to respond right there. That only took about 2 minutes and 20 seconds or so.
Well, when you take a look at the time of possession, I'm sure again today, probably in favor of the Scots. But the scoreboard shows it all wrapped up at 21 here in the third quarter, and that's
the only thing I'm paying attention to.
21-28 for the Scots. 21 minutes and 28 seconds of time of possession compared to 15 and a half basically for the Britons. And that's nothing unusual, Jimmy, as we've been averaging somewhere around 20-22 minutes a game. Again, something I would like to see changed a little bit, but you know, if you go back to the grand scheme of things, this is an offense that's set to move and go and score quickly. And so time of possessions in a lot of ways does not mean an awful lot to this team.
The key word in that sentence, though, is score quickly.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're running a no-huddle, fast-paced offense and you're going 3 and out, then your defense gets 90 seconds to rest, it seems like, and then they're right back out and having to be leaned on again. And they just gave up a touchdown, so, you know, they need the rest. Build the confidence.
Real good way to gas your defense. You're exactly right. Luckhurst will settle under this one at about the 12-yard line. He's got plenty of room at the 30 and the 40 and midfield before he gets bumped out of bounds into Britain's territory at about the 45, maybe the 40. They're going to say he went out at the 45-yard line exactly.
And a return that good always makes me want to look back towards the right to see if there's a flag, and no flag on the field for the Britons. So that was a clean return and a clean blocking downfield.
Riley Souter, the young man that made the tackle, but not before the Scots have great field position in Britain's territory at the 45-yard line. Don Bilyeu on his way across the field right now to the other direction, and we'll check in with Johnny on the sideline for some scores here in just a minute. 7:38 to play here, third quarter in this one, and we're knotted at 21.
Good game.
Figured it was going to be a good game this afternoon. You knew Alma was coming in and going to give us a run.
Tired of losing here.
And they had no doubt, and the Brits are just plain out tired of losing right now entirely here this year. They need their first win in the conference. Handoff goes to Reinhardt, and Reinhardt cuts it at the 40, heading to the sideline at the 30, and out of bounds at about the 29.
Wow, those runs just look too easy, Jim.
Good job. If you look at the front, look at that offensive front, they just sealed everything off. Then he made a little juke step on Rodriguez, who got out of position just a little bit. And the next thing you know, he's heading up the sideline. First down. And all of a sudden, this running game really becoming effective for the Scots. And again, how happy are they to have Reinhardt back in? He missed the game last week against Aurora. And he's back in this ball game here today. Zaborowski with the fake, looking to throw. He's got time. Yancey in the middle, but it's way over his head.
When he's missing far. So as a quarterback, again, your primary objective, if you can't get the ball to the receiver, put it in a position where only a receiver can make a play on it. So if you're going to shoot over, it's not the end of the world. If you have safety help over the top, then you could get burned. But when you're running a pattern to the end zone, typically you're not going to have a safety over the top at that point.
Triples go to the top now for the Scots. They give you just a little bit of a different look now. And now they'll bring a guy in motion and set him into the slot here on that visitor sideline. They hand the ball to Reinhardt again, and Reinhardt will be ahead for a couple. He'll be close to the 25-yard line. Or the Britons are able to wrap him up and bring him backwards. Rayshawn Robinson, one of the first guys to make the tackle.
Both teams now have run one of those plays up the gut where they've blown the whistle and then they've finished a tackle. Each defense has had one chance at that, so it's good to see the officials not throwing a flag, letting them play through the whistle.
Third down now and 5. Brits defense need to step up.
And Hunter Shaw still on the sideline, Jim. I mentioned that potential injury.
Handoff goes to Reinhardt. He gets through the initial opening of the hole, but then it closes quickly. He'll get a couple. It'll be fourth down and still a couple.
I think they're going to go for this.
Piscatna has done a good job. You know, obviously the coach for the Scots was a defensive coordinator here for the Albion Brits back in the National Championship Series, and has been up now at Alma for a half a dozen years and doing wonders up there, having a nice program and building a nice program. Fourth down now and 3. Big play for the Britons defense. Let's see if they can get off the field. Zaborowski calls for it, calls his own number, and he is gone down. Boy, I'll tell you, it took him forever. He didn't realize what his fate was going to be. I saw it sealed early. He kept trying to string it out. Tyler George, one of the guys that eventually made him go to the carpet here at Albion, but the fourth down turnover on downs will give the Britons the football back and a chance to take the lead back as well.
Lewis Chapel AME Church, located at 522 West Center Street, invites all alumni to wear purple and gold. Join them for a homecoming breakfast and a worship service tomorrow morning starting at 9:30. So hopefully you'll be still rooting on a Brits victory today, and you'll be ready to celebrate with that worship service tomorrow morning at the Lewis Chapel AME Church.
So the Britons will come back out on the football field with their offense. Pat Zarnecki will be to the right now of their quarterback, Kyle Thomas.
There's a big stop by the Britons defense right there on that fourth down, Jim. They have been susceptible on those fourth down plays. Shoot us a message, webcast@albion.edu. Webcast@albion.edu.
Reset the game clock to 5:08.
There you go. 5:08. Tyler Sykes is the wide receiver.
Thank you.
Up on the Scott sideline right now. Triples here on this sideline. Koski, the favorite receiver this afternoon of Kyle Thomas, the widest of the receivers here on the home sideline. Blanzy in between him, and then Poor in the slot.
Wynn picks up.
They'll fake and they'll throw, and this one is pulled in by Poor. Nice, by Sykes, I'm sorry.
Had to dive to the outside right there for that one, Jim.
Tyler Sykes with a nice pickup.
But again, you saw the defender try to almost jump that route, so that pass to the outside, like we talked about, put it where only your receiver can make a play.
Second down and about 5 for the Britons. Fake again to Zarnecki, throw again, and this one is intercepted. That was just a bad toss.
Yep.
And they read that one, dropped the linebacker back in coverage. Thomas didn't see him. And now we got another lineman down here on the football field here for the Britons, and that's number 2 on the afternoon for the Britons.
Jordan Jones, number 74, the freshman.
And that's not a good sign, as the Brits here have
Official timeout for an injured player.
some injury problems here this afternoon, and the turnover is going to give the Scots the football at the 33-yard line.
The first interception, I believe, for Thomas today, and comes at a very bad spot after your defense just got a hold. Now the Scots get the ball in friendly territory with 4:37 to play in quarter number 3.
Thomas tried to go right back to that same pass that he had thrown on first down, and this time they dropped a back linebacker in the lane, and he was right there to pull that interception in and give the Scots great field position.
That's a serious boost for the Scots defense. Your linebackers, it's kind of a 50-50 deal as far as their ability to come down with those interceptions, especially with those quick patterns right there. So you definitely have to give the Scots defense credit, being able to get the interception and move it downfield a little bit.
Let's go down to the sideline. John's down there, and I'm sure he's got a couple scores for us. John, how's that that big game with Trine going right now?
Trine once again has increased their lead. 40. You guys hear me up there?
Yep, we got you, buddy.
Right,
Keep
cool.
going.
Yeah, the Trine has increased their lead 43-14 with a few minutes left in the third quarter. Meanwhile, Adrian has now taken the lead, 10-7 over Kalamazoo. And with Olivet is also taking the lead, although their PAT was blocked. It is 16-14 over Benedictine.
Wow, there you go. So all the games now in motion in the MIAA. And the biggest game of the afternoon, that Trine Hope game, is starting to become a real one-sided affair over at Angola this afternoon. Don't forget, next week we will have a week off, not the Britons, as they will go on the road next Saturday. But we will not be joining them, but we will be back with them the following week when they go to Hope. They'll be at Wisconsin Lutheran next week. It'll be a 2 o'clock kick, and then a 1 o'clock kick at Hope the following week on November the 4th. And it's hard to imagine, Jim, but 1 week after that, they host Kalamazoo here, and that will wrap up our coverage for the 2017 football season.
Look forward to the possibility of doing some men's and women's basketball coming up this winter. And we always invite you to go to GoBrits.com to catch up on the remainder of the fall sports. and get you ready for the winter sports season as well, because like it or not, Jim, winter's coming.
Right around the corner, isn't it, huh? No doubt about that. Cozart now lined up on the left wing right in front of his quarterback, Zaborowski. Zaborowski flushed out of the pocket. He'll roll towards the right sideline and be dropped right around the line of scrimmage. And again, number 35 all over that football field.
He was not going to be beaten in a foot race that time. You see the determination of 35 right there at the finish of that tackle. I am not giving up on this play. You are not going to outrun me.
Jose Rodriguez back here for year number 5. He's a fifth-year senior. Playing his last season now for the Britons. It'll be sad to see him go. They'll give Zaborowski about a yard on that first down pickup. It'll be second down now and 9 as he goes to an empty backfield look. He'll run again right around the right corner. This time a little better yardage as he'll get close to the 30-yard line before he goes out of bounds.
Rodriguez again coming over from the middle linebacker spot to knock him down after a short gain. Designed quarterback draw going right side sweep.
Double up his yardage from this first run, make it a pickup of 2, third down now and 7. And the Brits defense now needs to stiffen here. Maybe they can avoid some difficulty here after that turnover. That interception gave the Scots great field position, but this play's critical.
Watch for him to take a shot downfield here, Jim.
Doubles in front of a single to the top again. They got 2 running backs in the backfield, 1 on the wing. They'll fake, and he's going to go out into the flat to a wide open receiver, and that's Yancey again. And he's inside that 20-yard line at the 16. And I'll tell you what, every time he needs a completion, he goes to number 23, and Yancey is able to hook up with the Zaborowski for the first down right in front of Rayshawn Robinson.
Wide open, too, like you said. Just can't have that.
First down now and 10. The Scots, bad snap, but we have whistle and we've got a flag. And
it's too bad, too. Because because that was a fumble that was going to the house.
So the walk-off will be actually
offense number 23, yard penalty.
Wonder if Yancey was having that one coming his way and was just a little bit antsy there.
Down.
So it'll be first down and 15 now instead of first down and 10. March the football back to the 21-yard line.
Either that or an opportunity to just get downfield and block and earn the respect of your running back and your coaches there.
Something was going on in number 23's mind, and he took off a step too quickly. First down and 15 now, 3:21 to play third quarter.
Good ball game, 21-0.
Gotta love that. Brits and Scots going at it here on a Saturday afternoon. Good snap, Zaborowski straight back. Now he's running out of time, running out of room, and a good job by Sean Kubit Miller. And the coach got to be happy on the other end of this webcast right now as the big fella collapses the pocket on the senior quarterback. Look at the big guy get. The big cat's got to eat every now and then. You know what I mean? That's what they say.
Get out. Both quarterbacks fleet of foot, but the defenses, when they've gotten those sacks, have often done a good job of kind of knifing right up the middle, which doesn't allow him to cut one way or the other. So he has to step in, and when he steps in, usually there's someone to get him around the feet and then one to clean up top.
So it's second down now and a whole bunch. Make it 21. Zaborowski drops. He avoids the pressure. Now he rolls to his right and throws, and oh, that one was going to get picked. If that ball would have been thrown a little bit quicker, Drew Schaefer was going to step in front of that one for a thank you very much interception. Look at this throw at the very last second. And look at 26 come flashing across that screen. He had that one all the way. Unfortunately, the ball couldn't get timed up in time for him to pull that in before he ran out of real estate over on the Scots sideline. 2:20 now. Clock
Scots
stop.
are well out of field goal range, you would think. So this, if they don't get the first, it'll bring up an interesting fourth down call.
Zaborowski again in the pistol. He'll hand off to Reinhardt. They'll sweep
Definitely
right
not
in.
Getting the first.
No place to go this time. And a good job by Rayshawn Robinson to see that coming.
Almost think you punt here, as crazy as that sounds from the 25. I almost think you take the 5-yard delay of game penalty to take you under 90 seconds, and then you try to kick it, pin him inside the 10, but they're going to go for it.
Fourth down now and 20 as the pickup was 1 yard there on that third down play.
At least it appears they're going to go for it.
Yeah, and I would think they're going to go for it at this point in time. on this end, it's an interesting call and it's an interesting decision, and you definitely could give it a try. But these guys have been fortunate enough to be able to get 21 here too many times this afternoon. I'd love to see a big sack right now. Zaborowski's in the middle of the football field. He's got his guy inside the 5, and that's why you go for it right there. Down at the 2-yard line is Chase Kruger on that post route. And Zaborowski, as you see, hangs in there, finds his guy, and a nice job by Kruger to pull that in, and it's now 1st down and goal at the 3.
What a catch.
Nice job by the Scots offense to be able to convert that 4th down and long. Zaborowski with the fake walks it in and tosses it to the official.
Nobody even saw him with the ball there, Jim.
Nope. Nobody realized he had the football, including the official. Watch this as he gets to the back of the end zone. And everybody's waiting. Now watch him. He's going to toss it over, and this guy's not. He's still trying to find. Whoa, where was that football? Oh, my gracious. That one got everybody by surprise.
That whole drive hurts right there. 4th and a mile. And they pick up the 1st down and then punch it in the next play.
27-21, the extra point here coming, and it is through the uprights, and it's 28-21 right now. Now the Brits offense tasked with the idea of playing from behind, and they're going to have to come back and try to make this a tie ball game again, or at least put some points on the scoreboard. Plenty of time, minute 13 to play quarter number 3.
23 1st downs for the Scots compared to 18 for the Brits. 394 total yards to 354. So the Britons looking to rebound there. 227 through the air for the Scots and 167 on the ground. The Britons 197 through the air and 157 on the ground. So both teams pretty balanced in terms of passing and running. Time of possession dominated, as we had said before, by the Scots, 27 and change to 16 and change. Hopefully this next drive will help put a dent in that, but with only 73 seconds to play in quarter number 3, you really don't care at this point if you win the time of possession battle. You're probably not going to anyway. You only want to put that number up on the scoreboard that ties the game.
And you know what? It's been 2 big 4th down plays that have propelled the Scots into this 7-point lead. The fake punt, and then the 4th down and 20 that they just converted right in front of us. Both of them ending in scores, and both of them now have the Scots up by 7. Low little squibbler. Kitka tries to pick it up. Now he does. 25, 30, 32. And you can tell right now that the Scots are not into seeing one go back to the house on a kick return this afternoon, as they've gone primarily to kicking it to the big number 84 and taking their chances with the backup tight end.
Here you go, Jim. Get your map out and get ready to put a push pin in an area where you did not expect.
There you go.
Taylor Tyson watching from Sydney, Australia.
Ah, there you go.
Watching his brother, number 51. Happy homecoming, Albion. Thank you so much. He is working at Northeastern University. That's pretty cool. Sydney, Australia.
Good to have somebody watching from down under here this afternoon. Zarnecki looked like he had some room, but that hole closed quickly, and he'll get about a yard before the Scots knock him down. 2nd down and 9.
Under a minute to play, quarter number 3. Brits find themselves now trailing. Again, you look at that drive at the end of the 1st half, Jim.
Left 7 on the off the scoreboard there right before the end of that 1st half, no doubt. Thomas with the fake, looking to get rid of the ball quickly. Now he will throw it up for grabs. That one almost got knocked around and picked off as well, as it would set up a 3rd down now. 27 is Colin Smith, who got a hand on that one. And that one just really did not work from the beginning for Kyle Thomas, who wanted to get rid of that football, I think, a little bit earlier than what he had the opportunity to, and then almost threw it away.
He was looking for a swing pass to his left right there, and that was well defensed.
Here comes the blitz. Thomas gets rid of it.
Got it.
Koski with the catch, but I think he's going to be a foot or so short depending on where they mark him. Let's just see.
Nope, they're saying.
There you go. Yep, there you go. Well, he got to the 42. I was right there with you until they moved the until they moved, and then you could see the Koski needed to get the 42, and you can see in the replay he's right there just across that 42-yard line, so no need bringing the sticks over.
Yep.
Everything works just fine down here. First down and 10, Brits with 10 seconds to play in the quarter. Zarnecki ahead for a couple, and that's going to bring the third quarter to a close.
Man, when he gets those short yardage gains, it just makes you wonder sometimes, like you really relish those long runs because he's getting a lot of those short ones where he's taking a pounding.
So we'll flip the sides of the field right now to bring this fourth quarter to an open, and the Britons find themselves down 28-21, and we'll head down to the sideline right now. John, anything new on the scoreboard around the conference?
Well, you could have guessed this, but Tryon once again scored another touchdown to make it 50-14 in the second half. With Adrian now 14-10 over Kalamazoo, and Benedictine, that game's going back and forth. Benedictine now up 21-16 over Olivet.
Wow, that's a whale of a ball game they have going on down over there as well. Conditions down there on the field, Johnny, they're just gorgeous. So you got a gorgeous Saturday afternoon, don't you?
Oh, it's beautiful. Little warm and a nice little breeze to cool it off. I cannot complain. I don't think these players can either.
The sun is out. It's a pretty fall afternoon. The colors aren't quite as nice as what they have been at times here, but the leaves are turning. The fall is here and coming, and the Britons hope to send a homecoming crowd home with a win yet, even though they trail by 7 as we open up quarter number 4. Thomas in the pistol look. Freeman to his right, and he'll hand the ball off to Freeman, and Freeman breaks a tackle, breaks a second tackle, turns the corner, and he's closing in on that 50-yard line. It'll set up a third down and about 3.
We see that a lot, unfortunately, Jim, with the Britons defenders going for that arm tackle or going for the strip. There's a case where you had, I think, 3 or 4 different Scots defenders trying to wrap up around the waist, couldn't bring him down, so strong run.
Doug Freeman stays in the ball game, triples to the top. Thomas throws in the middle. He's got his guy. That's Sykes. First down inside the Scots 40. Yep. Neither one of these defenses really able to just shut somebody down entirely.
Yep. It's been mistakes really by the Brits on offense and defense that have allowed Alma to get where they are.
First down and 10 now. Brits on the drive trying to tie this ball game up. Fakes the draw play, throws little screen pass again up to Sykes, but that one skipped. He picked it up, but he had to pick it up off the carpet here. And it'll set up a second down and 10 as Sykes comes to the sideline. Second down and 10, Brits with the football. Just underway, fourth quarter. Great to have you here on the Britain Sports Network on a Saturday afternoon. Handoff to Zarnecki. He has room up the middle, makes the first guy miss, but the second guy wraps him and drops him at the 34-yard line.
Zarnecki tried to sidestep that second tackle, but by sidestepping, actually stepped backwards, and the defender got him pretty well right where he was. It's getting tough running, though, by Zarnecki.
So the Britons have a third down look right now. They'll send doubles to the top and the bottom. They have one running back. That's Zarnecki in the backfield. And Thomas will drop. Here comes the heat. He steps up. He's got room. He'll get the first down as he crosses the 30 and finally gets to the 26-yard line. First down and 10 for the Brits.
Good tough run right there. And when you spread the defense out, sometimes as a defense you become susceptible to the quarterback draw.
Triples now on the home side. Zarnecki again to the left of Thomas as they pick up the pace again. Zarnecki kicks this one around the right end, and what looked like just kind of a weird little play there. Zarnecki, I did first there, I wasn't sure he had the football. I don't think he really did have the football because he was working with something in front of him we couldn't tell. Able to pick up about 5 yards. But
a lot of stutter steps
to
his right.
An awful lot of dancing going on up around that corner for whatever reason.
He went forward, though. That's all that matters. 5
is 5, and first down is first down. And second down and 5 is Pat gets it again, and he'll be close to the first down sticks as he gets about 3 and 4 on second down.
Very manageable third and short here as we dip under 12:45 to play in the contest. But, again, a lot of possessions for both teams at the rate of speed they go. Can the Brits tie this ball game up? They're in the red zone again here.
They were here right before the end of the first half, couldn't make it happen, and Zarnecki on the delay gets the first down as he runs to the 15. I think they'll mark him right there at the 15-yard line. They'll move the sticks. First down now and 10 for the Britons here on the 15-yard line.
28-21, Alma leads the Britons in the red zone at the 12-15 mark, quarter number 4.
It's homecoming, and the Brits would really like to make some things happen. Thomas fakes the handoff to Freeman, keeps it himself, and he'll get right back to the original line of scrimmage and no more. Yep. Little read option, and he read that one as an opening to his left, but that opening closed quickly.
And Freeman had to face a good push off the left side of the defensive front right there by a 3-man front. And so he didn't have a cut lane to the outside, and Thomas really didn't have a lane to the inside.
2nd and 10, triples right here in front of us on the home side. Koski all by himself on the top. They'll hand the ball to Freeman. Freeman cuts back, still on his feet. 10, 5, maybe the 4. That'll be a first down, I believe, and it should be first down and goal for the Britons. They'll say he stopped at the 5, but that's all they needed. So first down and goal at the 5-yard line. And a nice job by Doug Freeman, the senior, to keep his legs, Jimmy, and get all the way down to the 5.
Good tough run to his left, and now we're in familiar territory for the Britons. Down here again inside the 5.
Thomas going to throw this one to Koski. Koski can't get out of the tackle. They were looking for that one. He'll lose a couple on that play. And a good job there by Brandon Moore and Colin Smith to bring him down for a loss of a couple as the ball spotted on the 7.
You want to give your playmakers an opportunity in open space, but right there you just have to take your hat off to Moore, the defender, for making a good open field tackle.
Brits now 2nd down and goal from the 7. Thomas fakes, throws underneath Koski. He'll be close to the 2, and then he's wrestled backwards by Colin Smith.
About a 5-yard gain there, though, Jim, so good chunk on 2nd down to bring up a 3rd and goal. And the Brits absolutely have to punch this one into the end zone. What number are you looking for, big
Koski
guy?
comes out, 83 comes in, Jimmy. I'm trying to find that number
Tyler
right
Sykes.
now. Collie Crowley is the backup quarterback who also comes in. He's 15.
Sykes is 83, Jim.
He's in the bunch at the top, and Sykes here down on the left side. Handoff goes to Freeman. He's close to the end zone, but he was not going to get there.
They did no gain, marked him at the 2.
So
got to go for it.
It'll be 4th down now and goal. They're going to send the field goal team in here to try to get a couple of points going. So a gain of 1 yard. I've had 81 on the brain. Carby Canfield is the young guy that I have. Kobe Canfield is 81. And I had he and Sykes mixed up, so I apologize to both sets of parents here this afternoon as the field goal is good. Fabry had that one kind of angling towards that right upright, but he snuck it right on the inside of it.
Playing a draw with that wind, but the wind kind of stopped right there, so that one just kept drifting right, and you held your breath while that knuckleball went through.
Well, the Brits get a score. That's important. It cuts the lead to 28-24.
At least that drive got points. Britons can't have that happen again like they did at the end of the first half, where they get down inside the 5 like that and don't put anything up on the board. Have to get points.
You know, they tried to get that field goal right before the end of the half, but because of the helmet coming off of Zarnecki.
Yep, the 10-second runoff.
The 10-second run, and really without that coming off, the clock would not have stopped, and they would not have gotten the field goal team out there either. I mean, you have to look at both sides of that thing, but at least, as you said, Jim, they do score points.
Not the kind they wanted, but points.
If they can hold the Scots out of the end zone right now and throw a touchdown up on the board, it may be enough to send this crowd home with a big smile on their face this afternoon. Not only because they're here for homecoming, but because they also pulled a win out of their hat here this afternoon in a tough-fought game over the Scots. Kick will go deep. It'll go high. It'll go back to number 5. That's Hinkle. And Hinkle will come right up the Britain sideline and get tripped up at about the 35-yard line. So decent field position right now for the Scots.
Mark him at about the 37. Bring up first down with just over 9.5 to play, quarter number 4.
Now, if you're the defense for the Britons, you need to step up and make something happen. You need to be able to get your offense back out on the field here with no more damage done.
There's too much time
left to go ultra conservative if you're the Scots. I think you almost give them a play action pass look on first down because the receivers have done a good job of getting behind the secondary.
Reinhardt again, Caleb Reinhardt, the only running back in the backfield. They've got triples to the top. Now they'll bring a young guy in motion. That's 33 Lars Murray. And then Murray turns and tries to block as they hand the ball to Reinhardt. He'll lose about 2 yards as the Britons with a nice effort right up the middle of that football field. Tyler George, one of the first guys in on the stop. He had a little bit of help from a couple of other helpers there. Nick Davenport also in the middle of that tackle, and it's 2nd down and 12.
Still no Hunter Shaw out there, Jim.
And you kind of wonder how what Shaw's up to and how he's doing. Zaborowski rolls to his left, throws to a wide open receiver up around the 47-yard line. And I'll tell you what, Jacob Shields, a senior who had not been targeted all afternoon long, comes up with a big catch there to move the sticks for the Scots.
Again, like we said, Jim, the receivers getting behind the defenders. Now you're going the complete opposite direction of giving so much cushion that you can run that quick back.
Handoff goes to Reinhardt.
Fumble.
He lost the football, but he was able to fall on it. And what a shame that the Brits couldn't get on that one. And again, Tyler George now a little gimpy coming off to the sideline. And he'll be replaced by Dallas Reynolds. I think George just kind of twisted something a little bit wrong there in the middle of that pile, going for that football. And I don't think it's anything serious, but he'll come over and have it looked at here on the sideline. 2nd down and 10. Zaborowski.
There's no rush. I was going to say there's no reason for them to run a no huddle right now.
Turned and looked to his left, and they've done that several times where you think they're about ready to go, and then they stop and they look and they check. He'll fake. Here comes the blitz. They got him. Good job by number 45, Joe Fullerton. And I'll tell you what, I'm not sure exactly what knocked him down. Maybe a big forearm to the back of the number.
That or either a hold. Watch. See the tug on the jersey at the very end right there. That's the only thing that rips the body backwards.
Yeah, he just absolutely comes up with a big play at the perfect time. Now 3rd down and 17. Can the Britons take advantage of that sack?
Have to here. You cannot give up a first down here, Jim.
They have allowed the Scots to wiggle off the hook so many times this afternoon, Jimmy, when there is 3rd down and 18, 4th down and 20. Here comes the rush. Screen pass underneath. Brits have it smoked out.
Just play disciplined defense right there. Although now it's a 4th and much shorter.
Cannon. Yeah. Hey, what are they going to do? Cannon cross the 50.
I think you have to punt here.
4th down and 7.
At some point, you have to trust your defense to say, look, instead of us gambling all day long, lean on the defense a little bit and put some trust in them.
Well, let's hope that is misplaced trust here this afternoon, Jim.
Let's hope they run a punt.
Exactly.
Last time
that's a good point,
lined up for a punt, they hit a 30-some-yard pass play. So, again, assume nothing at this point.
Colin Poore will drop back deep here. He's at the 15-yard line.
You see, they're dropping into coverage, too.
They will kick this one away. Ball will be kicked to Poore at the 15.
Saying he called for a fair catch.
Wow.
Poore didn't think so.
I didn't see that fair catch signal anywhere. I didn't see that fair catch signal anywhere on Colin Poore. Yeah. He came over and he had his hand up because the sun's out. It's kind of sunny out there. Yep. But I never saw him really raise that hand up to give himself up.
But you can't do anything about it now.
Yep. No problem. I think the official just comes over and says, "My bad, coach." But that's where it's at. And it will be marked down at the 15-yard line.
Well,
First down and 10.
How would you feel as Coach Rundle if the official just comes over and says, "Well, I apologize"?
Yeah, not real happy about
the first tackler, and you had a nice wide open space on the near sideline. The officials are talking right here, but I'm not really sure you can do anything about it.
Nothing that you can do about that. When you blew it dead, the play will stand. And I watched him the entire way. He had his hand up kind of looking as if he was trying to block the sun just a little bit.
But
he never
is at a certain height.
Yep, and I'm sure that's what the official saw and just called him dead. But
for player safety, I think if your hand's up, even if it's not a fair catch, you have to blow it dead.
Now they'll all come over and give an explanation to the Albion sideline, but basically the explanation is We thought he raised his hand, Coach. We're sorry. That's where it's at.
This is probably a case where the official's glad his mic is not on.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I don't think he's going to say, well, that's okay. We all make mistakes.
Well, it'll be Britain's football. They'll have it at about the 16-yard line, I think, is where they're going to lay this ball down when they finally do. And the Britons are trailing by 4 points right now with 6:18 to play in the ball game. Let's see if Kyle Thomas.
Whistle on the play. The ball will be placed at the spot where the whistle blew.
There you go.
Down.
And again, that's about all you can do.
Yep. Too bad they didn't blow the whistle at about the 1 yard line going the other way.
Crowd is not happy about the whole thing, but you know what?
At least the Britons have the ball.
Officials make mistakes every now and then as well, and that one will give the Britons the football on the 16, and they'll just have to make the most of it.
Good sustained drive, putting points on the board here.
Triples to the top. Thomas is going to throw it. He's tossing it to Poor, and the ball skips right in front of him, and it'll set up a second down now and 10.
And throwing that one kind of into the wind. Again, as you mentioned, Jim, the wind's always blowing towards us or towards Thomas's left, so he's throwing into that wind. It's no wonder that ball got knocked down.
So it's second down and 10, and I'll tell you, that play has not worked extremely well because the defensive backs have been able to jump that route pretty much all afternoon long. Thomas drops. He's got pressure coming, and he's going down at the 10.
Somebody forgot to block somebody.
Colton Tyson, the young guy, I think, in fact, that was his brother down under that watched his brother with the sack there. So Tyson with the big play sends the Brits to the 10. Third down now and a bunch as the Britons need about 16 to keep this drive alive and not force their punt team to come out and kick from the end zone. 5:46 and counting. That's all that's left here in this homecoming game from Albion this afternoon. Thomas drops. Here comes the heat. He retreats into the end zone. Now he gets away from everybody, buys a little time, throws it up the middle. He's got it! 30-yard line. Nice job.
What a catch.
And that one goes to Canfield, 81.
You said you had 81 on the brain.
You know what? I've been calling him Sykes all afternoon, and I apologize, but Canfield comes back to that football, makes the catch, and keeps the Britons alive. Handoff goes right to Zarnecki, and Zarnecki will get a couple. Wow, what a nice throw. Good job by Kyle Thomas, and I think we're seeing the potential in the freshman coming down the line to be able to buy himself some time, even when the heat was on him in the back of the end zone when he was about to run out of territory. Keep it alive, throw it where it needed to be, and then hope for his and expect for his wide receiver to make the adjustment and make the catch, and they did a wonderful job there. Thomas pulls it down. He's still on his feet. He's across the 40 to the 42-yard line.
And getting back to that play, Jim, the only reason that play works is because he's a mobile quarterback.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you know, Dom Bona did a real nice job around here for a couple of years.
Yes, sir.
He wasn't the biggest fellow in the world, didn't have the best arm in the world, but doggone it, he made some great plays and big plays when he needed to, and that's exactly what we saw there. This one bounced. Unfortunately, the toss up to the top of the football field, and I think that was Tyler Sykes, skipped into Sykes, so it'll be incomplete. It'll set up a second down and 10.
Still 4.5 to play. All 3 timeouts. No rush. You don't need it all in one play.
Nope. I'll tell you what, a nice 4.5 minute, 4 minutes and 28 seconds right now would be just wonderful when you score that touchdown. Thomas throws this one a little behind the receiver Koski, and Koski right around the midfield stripe couldn't pull it in. It'll be third down now and 10. And again, you know what? I like the idea that you got your quarterback. We got a flag down in the middle of the football field. You got your quarterback still on the field right now,
this is going
and you're allowed him to play.
The Brits.
Holding
Offense
will go.
Number 64, 10-yard penalty, second down. Thank you.
So we'll take the down back, but it sets up a second down and 20.
And this is one of those cases where it's a good decision by the defense to accept that penalty. Usually you'd say, well, it's taking up a third down and long. But again, now you're pushing them farther back 20 yards. Usually pretty tough to get for a first down.
Let's hope that the Brits can make us eat our words with that one, Jimmy. How's that? 4:27 Thomas in the pistol, fakes, throws, got him. There he is. Canfield, 40, 30, 24-yard line and a late flag, and it can't be against us, I don't believe.
Nope. This might be a face mask. See the disgust on the defense right there.
There you go.
I agree with you. I can't see this being. I don't know. I don't see a penalty right there, Jim.
Really don't know what the call was. It came in late, unless it was behind everything. But could be unnecessary roughness, I guess, on that second person who came in and kind of piled on. But boy, that would. That really would.
Illegal block in the bag. Offense number 11. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul.
There you go.
First down.
And they say, Jim, don't open your big mouth and put both feet in it, right? Isn't that what they say? It can't be against us. Well, it was.
Well,
Zarnecki with the block in the back.
But
that's
down.
okay. You bet. 4:18 to play in the ball game. Brits will have the ball now in the Scots 37.
I'm just happy there's a first down for the Brits there, Jim.
That was the most important fact that came out of that conversation. You're right.
And again, another big pass play right there.
Doubles top and bottom. Zarnecki, the young man that got the block in the back, right to the right now of Thomas in that pistol look, and they'll hand it to Pat. Pat looks to find a spot. Gets a couple yards to the 35-yard line for the wave. Scoops him up and moves him backwards. They'll give him 3 on that carry. Second down and 7 now. And Elverson Mitchell checks into the ball game, and Zarnecki will get a chance for a breather on the sideline.
And they're going to be calling on that young man hopefully here in a moment. So catch your breath and get right back in there and get ready to do some damage.
Sykes on the top of the screen as Poor comes in motion towards us. Thomas looking to throw down the field. Now he's going to run out of time and run out of room. He'll run around the right corner and he'll get the first down and step out of bounds right across the sticks.
Have a D lineman for the Scots, number 94, Derek Ellis, the senior, seated at about the 40-yard line, looking for the flag right there, but no flag to be found. First down.
First down and 10 Britons, 3:15. The clock is rolling here. Britons trying to get this game-winning touchdown. And they're going to take their time about it, and I'm happy. Mitchell with the run on the draw play. He'll get a couple to about the 25-yard line. Give him 2. Clock continues to move. Unfortunately, there's not a 5-yard, five-point play that you can get right now to end this thing at the buzzer, so you'll need a touchdown somehow. Field goal does you no good as you're down by 4. Brits don't worry about that. They're going to get 7 here in just about another 2 minutes and 32 seconds.
And in a perfect world, the Scots will not see the ball again.
That's what I'm thinking too. Doubles to the top and the bottom. Fake the ball to Zarnecki. Throw the ball in the flat to Koski. He was open, but the ball overthrown down around the 21-yard line.
That's all credit to the push of the right side of the defensive line for the Scots. Forced Thomas to go backwards instead of just scrambling to his right, and it forced that throw to be rushed and too far to the outside.
And I think a couple more years of experience by Kyle Thomas, and he'll hook up with Koski on that one. Instead, it's a third down now and 9. Brits with 2 downs right now to get those 9 yards.
You don't need all of it in one play.
But we will take it. All right?
Sure.
2:23 as they snap the football. Hand off to Zarnecki. Zarnecki has some room. He's inside the 20 to the 19, so you did get about 6 of it. It'll set up a 4th down now and about 4 as they're going to mark him right at the 20.
And this isn't the last gasp for the Britons with 3 timeouts, but boy, you sure don't want to risk it.
Thomas drops, looking, has time, throws across the middle. He's got Koski, 5-yard line, 4-yard line, still on his feet. Nice toss, nice catch. Sean Koski, big afternoon here for the Britons. And just when it looked like Thomas was about to run out of room and run out of time, he pulls the trigger on a perfect throw right across the middle of the field, and number 9 pulls it in. It's first down and goal. Minute and 47 seconds.
And the Scots not burning a timeout here.
That's kind of surprising to me, but they figure maybe they're going to need that timeout, those 3 timeouts when they get the football back. Pistol look for Thomas again. He'll call his own number. He'll be close to that goal line, but a little bit short. And that'll burn a little more time, and you got to believe they're going to take a timeout now. Scott's going to have to burn a timeout here.
There they go.
Minute and 21 to play in the ball game. Ball at the 1 yard line.
Alma, their first time out of the half.
Head down to Big John down there. John on the sideline. That ball's sitting down on the 1 yard line. This thing's getting kind of exciting right now, isn't it, buddy?
Oh, yeah, everyone's electric here on the sidelines. They're all yelling and screaming, and they have a great chance of finishing this up. And I'll leave it up to the defense, who's been doing a decent job here in the second half.
Ball will sit on the 1 yard line. 1 minute and 21 seconds left to go in this football game. First time out of the afternoon for Alma here in this second half.
And Jim, we talked about how the Britons have not been much of a second half team. Today, only 14-10. They are in it, and that's a good thing. Usually the second halves have not been kind to the Britons, but in this case they have held strong, and they have an opportunity here at the end to pull one out for the homecoming crowd.
This would be a great win for everybody concerned with Albion football. Give them their first win of the MIAA, break a losing streak that's gone on too long. Britton's back at the line of scrimmage here with Thomas again in that pistol look. Zarnecki to his left.
Again, 2nd and goal.
Fake the ball to Zarnecki. Throw the ball way over everybody's head in the corner of the end zone. And one thing I don't like about that is it stops the clock. 3rd down now.
A lot of contact down there. Both guys going for the ball, but no call.
So it's
the finish of that play right there. A lot of contact, a lot of hand checking.
Sean Koski's the young fellow that was intended, that ball was intended for, and it's been a good connection all afternoon.
Now the wind picks up again, Jim.
3rd down and goal from the 1. Thomas to Zarnecki. Zarnecki on his feet, pushing forward, but he's not going to get there. 4th down and goal.
And here we are again.
1:08 and counting. Will the Scots take a timeout?
No, I wouldn't.
Or are they going to let it roll?
I'd let it roll at this point.
1 minute. Now we're down to 59, and now the Brits will take a timeout to chat it over, and a big 4th down.
Yeah, if you're the Scots right there, I think the last thing you want to do is burn a timeout. You want to put pressure on the Britons because they've been in this situation before at the end of the first half where they were unable to cash it in from the 1.
You are correct. Just what they're trying to do right now, and the Brits now need to figure out a way to punch this thing in and hand the ball back to the Scots, who will have 2 timeouts. But we'll have less than a minute to play in this ball game.
If only Refrigerator Perry still had some college eligibility, right?
Yep.
Give him the ball. Let him run over a few people.
Well, you know, we've had this discussion numerous times, Jimmy. Are they going to come out in that pistol look again? More than likely.
Well,
ball's on the 1. They've really not made any progress here in the last 2 plays.
I guess look at it this way. You know, and again, this is, you know, I talk about this a lot. It's just my personal preference. But if you practice in the pistol, your center is used to snapping the ball to the quarterback about 3 or 4 yards behind.
Yep.
And it's difficult to say, okay, we've done it one way all year. Let's change it for this one play. It's just, it's not who.
Now was charged to Alma. They have 1 timeout.
So Alma called that timeout
Albion
instead of
3.
the Britons. So that means the Britons should have all 3.
So the Britons have their opportunity. It's 4th down and goal from the 1. They need a touchdown to go back in the lead right here. And this could be their final offensive play. Thomas is going to keep it. He's going to barrel in. I'll tell you what, for a kid that's 5'11" and 180 pounds, he just ran that football like a 240-pounder.
Not to be stopped right there, Jim.
Look at this. He took the football and it said, come on and get me,
Go
guys.
Stop me, yep.
You know?
You mentioned Jim Dombona.
Yep.
That was a Dombona play right there. A guy who maybe isn't the biggest dog in the fight, but you are not going to stop him when it counts.
That was a wonderful 1-yard power play by a 5'11" quarterback. who just said, "Come and get me, boys."
And he came limping off the field, and the position coach picked him up to celebrate and kind of slammed into the turf by accident.
The extra point makes it 31 Alma, 31 Albion, 28 Alma.
A lot of time left though, Jim.
56 ticks on the clock. Alma with just one timeout. And the Britons defense now has to come out and shut things down. A field goal will tie it yet.
And they've also shown that with that 2-minute drill, they're not afraid to run the ball. Granted, that was with 3 timeouts.
Yeah, exactly.
So with 1 timeout, it changes a little bit, but how much does it change? If you know you can get good chunks of yardage, you have to figure the Britons are going to probably play softer on defense. They've been susceptible to giving up the big pass play, so they're probably going to drop more people back in coverage, which means the draw play or the quick swing pass could get you some significant chunks of yardage.
I think it all starts right here, Jimmy. Chase Hinkle and Chris Lockhurst drop back. And we will squib this one up the middle. It goes over one head between 2 legs. Lockhurst picks it up. Brits all over him at the 30.
And that ate up a lot of
seconds
time
left
too, Jim.
now in this football game.
Because that ball was touched by 2 players, clock started right away. So not that it's a lot, but 7 seconds go off the clock on just the kick return.
Right now, every second that clicks off that clock here in Albion is a good thing. You're right, I agree.
Welcome second off the clock. Webcast at albion.edu. Let us know if you have any fingernails left or if you've chewed them all off at the end of this game.
Well, the Brits have to play some defense for 51 seconds if they want to get their first MIAA win here of the 2017 season against the Scots.
Let's make it happen.
Zaborowski drops. Here comes the pressure. They'll let him run. He can run all he wants to right now. He'll scamper out of bounds at the 35-yard line into the Brits bench. And now the clock at 45 seconds as he picks up 3 on first down.
You go ahead and run that anytime you want, my friend. You burn 6-7 seconds on a play that goes 3 yards. I'll take that, Jim.
Yes, sir, all day long. Great coverage in the secondary that time by the Britons. 45 ticks left, second down now and 7 for the Scots.
And that answers the question of whether or not you want to try to run a draw or whether you're going to pass. They're thinking pass first all the way now.
Doubles top and bottom. Don't think there's any time for a running play right now. Zaborowski across the middle. That's his favorite target right there, Alex Yancey. But Yancey gets enough for the first down as they'll move the sticks. Stop the clock until they get the ball reset, and now it's running again. 37 seconds, 36.
1 timeout, though.
Here comes the rush. Zaborowski fires deep over everybody's head. Probably a wise idea as the time in his head, I'm sure, was running out as he knew the pressure coming. 29 seconds now, second down and 10. Good job by the Brits defense here. Let's see if they can't hang on to this win.
We should send it down to John here after this next play and see what the mood is like on that bench right now.
John's probably about as excited as everybody on that sideline, I would bet. In fact, somebody gets loose, you might see our sideline reporter chasing somebody down on the football field. Zaborowski rolls to the left, throws. This ball's a little too hot for the receiver to handle, and it's incomplete off the hands of Chase Kruger.
Look how much time went off the clock on that play, Jim. Their plays are taking forever.
23 ticks left in this ball game now. Third down and 10.
Now you just have to play disciplined defense.
Can't let anybody get behind you. Zaborowski will empty up the backfield now. He's all by himself. How big would a sack be right here? Only 3 big fellows on that front line for the Brits. Ball goes across the middle. It's completed to the 40.
What a stick.
And now 19 seconds as they reset the chains.
They can clock this, which they will do.
And that'll take a couple seconds off the clock as well. So it'll be first down or second down now and 10 with 17 seconds left to go in the ball game. Ball on the Albion 40-yard line.
Nowhere near field goal range, but one big play could change that. We'll take a look real quick at the statistics for their kicker and see if we can get a long on this season for him.
Zaborowski sends a man in motion. Now he'll roll towards the home sideline, looking to throw the ball down the field, and he's going deep over everybody's head. Third down now. Well, I can tell you this right now. Unless they get another 10 or 15 yards, he's out of field goal range here.
I think as long as, if I'm reading the stats right, as long as only 37.
That's what I was thinking. It was somewhere in that middle 30s here for the season. Third down now, 10 yards to go. 11 seconds is the key number here on the clock. One timeout still for Alma. Crowd here on the Britton side, loud and having some fun. Throw across the middle, and that
wasn't even looking for it.
Man, there was
wide
nobody.
Open too, Jim.
Yep.
Threw it just behind the receiver right there, but the receiver, as he's telling him right now.
Yep. Totally different idea between quarterback and receiver right there.
It's fourth down, so you can say you do 2-3 plays or whatever, but you have to get the first down before any of the other plays happen.
8 seconds left to go.
Discipline right here, young man.
Alma trying to get within field goal range. Britton's trying to hang on for the homecoming crowd. Zaborowski running out of time. Oh, football! It's on the ground!
Doesn't matter who gets it now, Jim.
And the Brittons will fall on it with triple zeros on the clock.
Doesn't matter who gets it now. This game's over.
Dylan Zaborowski trying to make something happen. Lost the football. And the Britons, I think, fall on it back around the 35-yard line, but it doesn't matter as the Britons will sneak out a well-deserved win here on a homecoming Saturday afternoon. 31-28 over the Scots. What a ball game. I'll tell you what, you got to be happy about that one, Jimmy.
Tremendous pressure on fourth down right there. The defense just wanted it more, and it's a defense that has been much maligned this season, but this was a case where they needed a big play, and they got a big play.
Exactly. So the Britons will take this one. 31-28. That's win number 1 for them in the MIAA here for the year, and a good job by the Britons to be able to get that one done. Good job, Big Al. Good job for the Britons to be able to come up with a win this afternoon. The homecoming crowd is happy. The celebration, I'm sure, will continue late on to the evening here tonight as everybody in purple and gold are smiling from ear to ear here at Sprinkle Stadium. I'll tell you what a great, and I'll tell you, Jim, that was about as good a football game as we've seen here. You know, it just went right to the end.
You said at halftime, you know, give me a Division III Alma Albion game, and by golly, for you folks who stayed tuned to the end, you caught one whale of a football game, my friend.
We sure did. Well, the Britons able to score late in this football game, and then the defense able to hang on and deliver the win this afternoon. And Britton fans all over the world are happy, Jimmy. Let's go over some final stats.
Sean Koski catches a 51-yard touchdown pass from Kyle Thomas early in quarter number 1 to give them a 7-0 lead. The Scots respond with a 4-yard Zaborowski run. Koski catches a 7-yard pass from Kyle Thomas in midway through quarter number 2 to make it 14-6. 14-all as Yancey catches a 55-yard touchdown pass in the 2-point conversion with Hinkle on the jet sweep. 21-14 early in the third quarter as Cozart catches a 5-yard pass from Zaborowski. The extra point in that case is good. And then Kyle Thomas ties it up at the 7:45 mark of quarter number 3 with a 6-yard run. Zaborowski answers with 1:13 to play in quarter number 3 to make it 28-21. Fabry hits a 19-yard field goal on what we thought could be a dicey situation. They're not cashing in on that goal line opportunity. But at the 9:37 mark, that made it 28-24. And Kyle Thomas again saving the day for Britton faithful. 56 seconds to play in the game, runs it in from 1 yard on 4th and goal. And again, you go back to the last play of the first half where they could not cash it in from basically the exact same spot going into the exact same end zone. So it's poetic justice that the Britons are able to get that 1 yard run and get the victory. And now momentarily we'll get you some individual stats. Kyle Thomas, 24 of 40, 305 and 2 touchdowns with an interception. Pat Zarnecki, you talked about a breakout game, 24 carries for 175 yards. Sean Koski, 13 catches for 160. Colby Canfield also had 4 catches for 85 yards, Jim. And we'll get the statistics momentarily from the Scots as well.
Nice job by the Britons. You know, we talked a little bit about what was going on there with the We talked just a little bit about what was going on with the field goal attempt there late in that ball game. Whether it was a good idea, whether they should go for more than that at that point in time. That field goal ended up being the winner at that moment, as they were able to put that thing through. And the 3 points basically hang up and hang on, and the Britons hang on at the very end to be able to come up with that win. And again, the computer being kind of a little farkled here this afternoon, not wanting to give us that Alma stats here at this point in time.
Try refreshing it real quick. And I know you folks at home are just anxious to listen to me talk while the computer.
Well, the Britons actually will go now to 2-5 on the season, and a good situation for the Brits here this afternoon to be able to come up with that big W here this afternoon. And our buddy John just came up into the booth with us as the Brits get their very first win in conference on the season. And John, I'll tell you what, everybody down there has got to be happy. You've got a big smile on your face. That must mean that homecoming weekend is going to be a fun one all around Albion for the rest of the weekend, huh?
Oh yeah, much more fun. More fun activities going on tonight. But for the first time, I think, working here, I got goosebumps watching a football game. That was pretty exciting for me.
Attaboy, that's exactly what we like to hear. I think Trine rolling all this afternoon, that really wasn't a ball game at all. We thought it was going to be a good one between Trine and Hope, but Trine just kind of rolled them this afternoon down in Angola, didn't they, John?
Yeah, they look much better compared to everyone else in the MIAA. I feel like I don't think anyone's going to give them any grief.
You know, and I think it's a Trine football team that if they do win the conference and get into the playoffs this year, they're going to be a tough out for somebody this year. That's a pretty solid football team. Don't you agree?
Yeah, like I said before, watching them play, they were the quickest team I've ever seen. They, very little mistakes and very little mercy, I'd say, as well, on defense and on offense.
John, a great work on the sideline again for us today, buddy. Go enjoy the celebration with everybody else around here in Albion. And again, remember, me and Jim know a lot of bail bondsmen if you need us. How's that?
It's good to know. Thank you.
John Bolillo, our sideline reporter, will take off on us here, and another great job, and he'll be back with us when we come back here for the final week of the season when we take on Kalamazoo. And Jimmy, why don't we wrap up the stats with the Alma stats here this afternoon?
Dylan Zabrowski, 14 of 31, 253, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception on the ground. Caleb Reinhart, 20 carries for 92 yards. Zabrowski had the 26 carries for 38 yards. That's a tough day with 2 touchdowns, though. Yancey was your big receiver, 7 catches. That would have been a record. 7 catches for 146 and a touch. Cozart had the other touchdown reception. 2 catches for 29 yards, Jim. And just, you can't say enough about the heart of the Britons after going down at the end of the first half, having that same goal-to-go situation on 4th down and not being able to do anything with it. And to do, basically run the exact same offense the second time now when the game is on the line late in the 4th quarter. That's just a huge win for Coach Rundle's team.
And Kyle Thomas, I think, hats off to him. Boy, I'll tell you, 4th down and goal from the 1. He took that snap from that pistol look, and even though he's 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage, he just had one of those looks in his eyes. You could tell from up here. He took the football.
Wasn't going to be stopped.
He saw the hole. He says, I know you're 6'3" and 285 pounds, but you and me, we're dancing in the end zone, buddy. And he lowered that shoulder and drove his way into the end zone for that final score, and the Brits pull out a win here this afternoon, 31-28. We'll be off next week. We will be at Hope in 2 weeks to bring you the football game, and back here to wrap everything up at home against Kalamazoo on the 14th day, or the 11th day, of November, which will be the final football game here of the season for us. Jim, why don't you wrap everything up for us, bud?
For complete details on today's game, as well as all other news and notes on the Britons fall sports, visit GoBrits.com. Our thanks to our crews you see on the screen. Ken Reeker, the producer today. Also Nick Reeker, Sam Murphy, and Drea Hill, getting everything to your home for you to watch and enjoy. For Albion College, I want to thank the athletic director, Matt Aaron, and the sports information director, Bobby Lee. This game was a production of Richer Productions and FJ Productions. And I want to thank all of those folks for making today's broadcast possible. And thank you, as always, for watching the Britons Sports Network. Have a great weekend, everybody.